everyone, and welcome to Eternal Mooncast, the streaming show all about Sailor Moon fan theories. We cover everything from the prominent to the obscure in the Mooniverse. We're your co-hosts, Michi and
Selene. But first, a quick Moony disclaimer. We'd like to remind everyone that these are just our personal opinions. We do not in any way represent Toei or the Sailor Moon intellectual property. Tonight, we delve into Sailor Cosmos and what lies beyond with our guest, Brooke, also known as ochibawolf. Yay!
Oh
Some
my
Moony
gosh,
insight on
hello!
Brooke.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody! And thank
Hi.
you for Michi and Selene for that awesome introduction. So happy to be here, you guys. Super duper honored, and I can't wait to talk Cosmos with you guys and also our audience tonight as well.
Now, before we start, for our guest, she is a full-time content creator and collector specializing in Sailor Moon. She's been a fan of Sailor Moon since 1995. As you all know, that is when it came here to North America. She is now in her 30s, happily married, and resides in Kansas. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, we love to hype our guests up.
Love the vibes already. You guys are awesome.
We're so excited to get into this topic because I was thrown for such a loop by the movie because we had planned this before I had seen the movie. So it was like, oh my God, wait, what? Cosmos? She keeps talking. What's going on?
I was thrilled by the movie because it is pretty much verbatim of the manga.
Which, speaking of that, can we say, if anybody's watching tonight and has not seen or read the manga or watched Sailor Moon Cosmos, we are going to go through it probably in its entirety. So spoiler warning, if you guys haven't seen it, we're going to be talking about it all. So I just want to start that off.
Thank you.
Spoilers.
Thank you.
Spoilers ahead.
Many. So many spoilers.
But let's go ahead and let's talk about the movie. Especially, this was a really groundbreaking movie. And I feel like, Brooke, do you want to start with your thoughts overall? Like, how are you feeling?
Absolutely. Okay, so I will say I've seen it 4 times. I have watched, before we got, of course, our English version that we got on August 22nd this year, I did watch it in Japanese. So I watched that many months before I watched it in English, and I was really excited to watch it in English. I just finished my second time over the last couple of days watching it in English. So I think I have a really good solid opinion by now. And overall, I just have to say, my favorite out of the reboot. I was one of those people who was very critical of the reboot. I had high expectations. When I first saw that trailer back in 2014, I thought the trailer looked amazing, and then I was extremely let down from setting the bar too high. And I was disappointed in the first one, and then the second one got a little better. Crystal Season 3, a little bit better. It gradually got better and better, and now with Cosmos, I feel like they did it justice in the end. Do I wish it was overall consistently the same like Cosmos? Yes, but I'm very happy with how they took it out with a bang. I cried. I'm not a very emotional person. I'm an air sign, but just the way they portrayed the manga to animation, they did it so elegantly, so beautifully, and I really think you can see. I feel like we can feel Naoko through this, since she was very heavily involved this time.
Oh my God, you're so right. There's just the vibes are she is there in the room with us.
Like, you felt it too. Like, you're like,
yes.
This is her work. This is her manga.
This is the one she wanted to tell.
Yes.
No, it gets me emotional every time, especially I was rewatching it last night and I'm like, oh, but it was so good.
And it's not just the end. It's like so many bits scattered throughout. There's obviously some really heavy stuff that happens in movies 1 and 2, but also some really sweet moments too that are cry worthy in my opinion.
One thing I wanted to bring up was the way they animated death was really well done, because that was something that they could have so easily messed up, but they did it so well in the way that it just flowed. So good.
You're talking about like the dust particles when it just boom. It's like it's so fast. Of course, we have no time to process it.
No, we're just like, oh, what happened to Mama?
Even though if you read the manga, it's coming, but at the same time, we've never seen it animated exactly how the manga was. So it was just, it was so crazy. I don't know. Let me know if you guys agree too. From watching Sailor Stars, the 90s anime, which definitely deviates very much from the manga, from the way Naoko has written this. So I felt, even though I've read the manga, I was watching a whole new thing of Sailor Moon. I was living my little 10-year-old dreams again.
No, literally. Sorry, go ahead, Selene.
Same. I also have the same opinion as you when you were like, how disappointing was Crystal?
I'm just over here.
Me the whole time. Cosmos movie is like the ultimate redemption. Because I was like, why couldn't you have done this for the entirety of Crystal and just followed the manga like we asked you to?
And the animation, like
Cosmos?
that
Manga.
was a big thing for me because we all know that we can criticize and talk about how Naoko wrote her manga and you can dig deeper into the plot, etc. But I typically don't do that anymore since that manga is so old now. So to me, my biggest criticisms was how they did it from paper to digital. And so I was like really critical of how they animated it. And I really feel like Toei dropped the ball the first up until even through Eternal, I feel had some major issues. But Cosmos,
I felt Eternal felt, what is it, Pretty Cure? That's super popular over there?
yeah, that is super popular.
I was like, can you redo Eternal but with the Cosmos art, please?
That's all us Sailor Moon fans have ever wanted. Give us that treatment, please. The transformations, and I haven't seen Pretty Cure, so I can't say much about it. But I do think some of my audience has. But I have watched little YouTube clips of the animation and of the henshins and transformations, and they do those so well.
They really do. No, and I've watched one Precure. I've watched Precure a la mode. Because there is a Haruka and Michiru. I'm telling you, there's a Haruka and Michiru in it. Beat for beat, in a way, they're different, but trust me, they're inspired.
And yet, so we know that the ability is there. They could have done that for Sailor Moon, and they didn't.
But also, I do want to point out a good thing, because you were talking about the animation. The backgrounds of the Cosmos movie are they fit.
So good.
They remind me of the 90s in the best possible way while being their own thing.
Yes, I really do think they animated Cosmos. I have very little critiques when it comes to Cosmos. So much little critiques, I don't even like to bring them up because it doesn't matter. I'm like, this is the best that we got, and it's almost perfect.
When people slander Cosmos, which people have, in my Facebook, on Facebook, I was like, did you read the manga? And they're like, yes, but the Cosmos movie couldn't hold the thing on itself. I was like, because it's the last of a series. It doesn't need to inform anybody of what else happened beforehand. That was their argument. And I was like, go read the manga again, please. We're not getting in this argument. Do not slander this movie.
Maybe, and I wonder if those people are also diehard 90s fans where we did get three movies that were canonically in the Sailor Moon timeline universe. We had them loosely based off of certain seasons, but they didn't really fit within any of the chronological order of the movies, and we might have to revisit this topic at the very end when we want to see what we want to see more from Sailor Moon going forward.
Yeah.
Because movies like that, standalone movies, people are saying that they want. Definitely.
Yeah, because they don't even reference those movies in the 90s series. They are just standalones. They are on their own. It's like Power Ranger movies, although some of them actually did connect. Like those kind of things where they're like spin-off movies and then they don't mean anything to the universe.
Exactly. So yeah, I have ran into a lot of fans just doing what I do in general that were fans from the 90s and are now revisiting Sailor Moon as an adult, and they are lost with what Crystal, Eternal, and Cosmos is. So I get it where they're coming from. It does take a little bit of digging, a little bit of research to figure out what Cosmos is, because on the surface, people may just think it's just a standalone movie about Sailor Moon.
Instead of the true ending.
The true ending, instead of it is actually from the manga being animated. Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about, we really were touching base on the animation. Yeah. Was there any other really good things you want to point out about the animation, or even bad?
I didn't have anything bad because I didn't catch any parts like you do in Crystal. Like, God forbid you pause during Crystal. That was your sleep paralysis demon, to be honest. But I honestly, the transformations were stunning. Like, I cried when Usagi first transformed, the first transformation. I was in tears. I was like, this is what I've been wanting. Because like you, I'm also a fan since 95. Like, I used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, because I used to live in Florida, and it was on at 5:30 on UPN network. 5:30 in the morning. And I would get up and I would record my little shows. This was the deep dubs to get it almost felt similar to like the 90s beauty of transformations. And I think that was a very big nod to it because it didn't look computer generated this time. It didn't look like a 3D model that they modeled and then slapped the transformation sequence on there.
Yeah, and for Sailor Moon, we got, what, 3 different versions between the two versions? I mean, between the 2 movies, we got 3 different transformations. Which was your favorite then, Selene? You said the first one really made you cry.
The first one, because it was the longest one. And it also, I don't know, I just had a lot of feelings when it happened. I was like, that's my girl right there. Yes, go get that.
So I will say, because I studied all the transformations, the first one that they did was completely brand new animation. Somebody animated it. It wasn't really paying homage to anything. It was brand new. The second one that they did paid homage to a lot of her other transformations from the 90s, which I thought was cool. They mix and matched them. And then they took one directly from the manga, which it was a shorter version. If you remember, there's like a manga image where she transforms quickly.
Yes.
So I really want to say I agree with you, Selene, that the first one out of those was my favorite just because they gave us something brand new.
I will say the quick one reminded me almost of the old movie-esque animation, like when they had those attacks where you could actually see them all drawn out. It felt like that.
Yeah, I'm really glad they gave us 3 different ones. That was really cool of them. I wish they would have kept up with that. I think the inners transformed a couple of times. We didn't see the outers transform, I don't think, now that I recall it. But I would have liked it if they would have done different animations for everybody else, especially the Starlights. We did get the tap dancing transformation. Which was new to us, mixed in with some 90s. But that would have been cool if they would have done what they did with Sailor Moon for the Starlights, at least, and gave us a couple of different versions, since they're important characters in the end.
No, for sure.
Oh, and Princess Kaku, that was brand new to us. Oh,
that was cool.
Sailor Galaxia
I was like,
transformation.
Sailor Galaxia, when she transformed, I was like, oof. Just
it
like
was so good, wasn't it?
So I was like, Oh, my
They
soul
were
is healed.
so good. So they did it so well. I have more positives about these two movies than I ever have with any of the reboots, and I'm just so happy as a Sailor Moon fan.
Yes. I want to say the Galaxy Cauldron was stunning.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
That
It was cool to see how
was
it was actually
gorgeous.
rainbow because we don't see it in color in the manga. I don't know. I can't even remember what I was imagining when I first read it because now my image is tainted by the animation. But it was that's a good point, Selene. It was completely crazy. I didn't think it was going to be that rainbow and beautiful.
It was like reminiscent of Sailor Moon herself, which it made sense because she is the light.
And it had like all the guardians represent a color. There's
Yeah.
like a lot of little contrasts.
I also, since I rewatched just the Cosmos part, I did notice what was really cool they did for when the scouts are going home. Usagi is a prism. Her thing shifts. Like her little shooting star.
Yeah, where they
shifts
were all
color.
just like little beams of light, that part.
Yeah, it shifts color.
Wow, I didn't notice that. I'll have to go back and remember that.
I was like, that's so pretty.
Wow.
That
And that part
pretty.
they added, by the way. When I was watching it, the English dub the second time, I was following along with my Eternal Edition mangas. And that really wasn't animated. So they gave us a little extra footage.
The little extras were like the best Easter eggs, like getting to see Sailor Chaos.
Oh, yes.
Action.
Was like it did have a little picture.
She's a blurby.
But it wasn't great. Like they really gave us a lot of detail in this in this movie.
And also seeing like Crystal Tokyo just demolished. That like Cosmos gives like a little, but to see it and see Mamo, see Endymion fighting, and then you just see everything destroyed and her just hopeless standing there. I was like, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. Cry. And then I cried.
And then you cried. So wait, did we all cry, by the way, at certain
We all cried.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% I cried.
I guess I want to ask the audience too, did you guys all cry watching it at some point? I'm just curious if anybody didn't.
Yeah, this feels like it was like a joint experience of just going through it, especially just knowing that it's like the final battle.
I just feel like we're starstruck and we're at a loss for words in a good way. Like normally we could criticize all day, we can talk about the good all day, but at the Cosmos movies really did Sailor Moon universe justice, and we're so happy. I think most Sailor Moon fans, most really diehard Sailor Moon fans, are happy with them.
Yes, we're very grateful. I
Good
feel
thing
like
you mentioned that because it's like the diehards who have read the manga 20 times and we're like, can we please just get it animated correctly?
Yes.
Follow the manga. Don't go off on some tangent like you did with the generals.
Oh, I will say though, I mentioned this at the beginning, I did set the bar really high initially for the whole Sailor Moon reboot, and then my expectations and the bar was this low. So Cosmos impressing me, the bar was already pretty low, so it might have just been me just taking what we could get at this point, but it was the best so far of the reboot.
The bar was on the floor by the time we hit Cosmos.
Basically. Were there areas they can improve in? Could they give us better animation? Could they have given us a series instead and gone all? Yeah, but I'm happy. At the end of the day, I'm happy with what we got this time.
I think so too.
They covered everything. They covered the Stars manga. It's not like we didn't get what was written in the Stars manga.
Exactly.
So
it was almost everything.
I'm very happy.
We got everything and a little extra. There was only one part
we got extras.
there was just a few scenes they either extended or they gave us a little extra dialogue. It wasn't too much, but they did give us a little extra, which I thought was great. There was only, I think, one thing that I noticed they changed, and that was for the good. I don't think that this would have held up in today's times. And that was, I made a quick note on that. Oh yeah, on Eternal Edition, Volume 9, page 55, Usagi has a dream where Mamoru is back from his trip from America, but then crumbles in a horrific scene and she wakes up in distress. They removed that.
They sure did.
And that's okay. It wasn't
fair.
It wasn't pivotal. We already know she's worried about Mamoru. And then they did change Sailor Aluminum Siren's attack from the manga. In the manga, I think it was Galactica Tsunami, and she uses Galactica Wave in Cosmos. So that was an interesting change. And then the one that I was talking about that was for the better, if you guys remember Sailor Tenyanko's Yanko Suzu, she states to Usagi, when someone is actually a girl but she dresses and acts like a boy, we can't trust them. They removed that rightfully and didn't even use that because that doesn't apply.
Good job. Good job on removing that stuff.
I agree. I totally agree with all of these. Like the aluminum siren one is whatever, but the two others, I'm like, I'm so good with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree.
I actually mentioned that when we were in the chat, when we had our show last week. I was like, you know what they forgot? I was like, the melting face scene.
I don't know why they took that out. And another strange thing when it comes to the animation, when, who was it? Who murders Kaki? Was it Sailor Kai?
Oh, yeah, they censored that.
They censored
it.
They censored it. Yeah, Sailor Phi. Yeah, Sailor Phi, I think, did it. But they censored it in such a strange way, because in the manga we see dark blood splatters. I would have liked, at least, they didn't have to make it gruesome, but if they just did some blood splatters across the screen real quick or something, just to give us a little bit more how disturbing this scene is supposed to be.
Shadow, and then you see the spurt come out of her. Do it just like the manga,
yeah,
really.
They didn't even have to make it red.
Make it just black, like a shadow. Like, you could have just done a shadow of her getting offed.
Yeah, and I know it's a cartoon and it's not realistic, but at the same time, we need that. We see animes these days like Demon Slayer, which is very morbidly bloody. And Sailor Moon's not a bloody anime, but just a little bit to show that she was impaled, dude.
I love that scene in the manga so much, and I'm just like,
it was a little lackluster. They really it was such an important, shocking moment, and it was like they didn't go all the way with it. I guess that's a critique in the animation that kind of bothered me, but again, not super big deal to me personally.
Yeah, see, I cosplayed not her, but the other twin, so those two are very near and dear to my heart. So
Sailor Kai, you did Sailor Kai?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Can I also say about those two, when I read the manga and they use the symbols, and I'm like, I don't know what those symbols mean. I don't know what they are. I don't know if you guys know, but for me personally, and I'm sure some of you guys listening tonight didn't know, I'm like, how do I read these? How do I say these? So I'm so glad the English dub really helped me learn a lot of these names, especially Sailor Lethe and Sailor Mnemosyne. Like, I did not know how to say these names. I think I was saying Sailor Leth before Cosmos movies came out.
I still call her Sailor Mnemosyne, because that's actually how it's pronounced, but
isn't that pretty close? Say it again.
Mnemosyne.
Oh, Mnemosyne. Okay, they did say Mnemosyne, I know, in the show. Okay, so it's actually pronounced the other way?
Yeah, that's the way I've always heard that name pronounced, because it's in Greek mythology, Mnemosyne.
Ooh, so what's your personal opinion on why you think they say Mnemosyne?
Maybe they're just going phonetically. They could have been going phonetically off of how they said it in the Japanese version.
And I tried to listen to that, but they say it so quickly in the Japanese. It is so hard to catch if you're not a native Japanese speaker. Mm-hmm. So I tried my best, because when I watched the Japanese first, that was one of my main things that I wanted to know, was like how some of these other Sailor animates are pronounced, because I know I was butchering them for sure reading it from the manga. And it was so hard to pick up Mnemosyne. I was like, I can't figure it out. I can't wait for the English dub. Like, I was so excited for the English dub because of that.
Yeah. No, but that's so valid and real, because I feel that, because on the show I constantly pronounce them wrong, and I'm like, I just need to go and watch the movie over and over again until that's all I can hear in my head.
Yes, but it's very interesting that Selene knows the correct in Greek mythology, and I didn't know that. So then, Selene, did you know the actual symbols of Sailor Phi and Kai then too when you read it, since you're into that stuff? Is that from Greek mythology too?
I did have to look it up. Yeah, because I believe those are the Greek symbols for Phi and Kai. I took actually speaking ancient Greece when I was in high school.
That's so cool.
I remember like looking them up. I was like, what are their names? What is this? And I had to like look it up. And I was like, there we go. Found it. Mm-hmm.
So then from there on, you just knew, before most of us knew, it was Phi and Kai.
I didn't have a lot of Sailor Moon friends growing up until I got into the cosplay scene. So that's how I met Michi, was the cosplay scene. So people would be like, Sailor Moon. I'd be like, yeah. Do you know what it is? They're like, is it like Pokemon? I'm like, no.
Kinda. It's from Japan too.
No, it's Magical Girl.
I love Pokemon too, clearly.
Yeah,
I love Pokemon also. So I'm just like, no, I love Pokemon, but this is Magical Girls.
Yes, totally different genre for sure.
Oh my gosh, but there's a few great comments I wanted to highlight real quick.
Oh yes, let's highlight some.
So, Pointy Clicky says, Kaku's stabbing could have held for a few more seconds, like the first season when Mamoru gets stabbed with an ice shard.
I feel that point, Clicky. That's one of my audience. What's going on?
Hello. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are in agreement with they could have definitely made it more shocking for us, and it wasn't as shocking as the people who read the manga were expecting. I was like, oh god, it's coming. And then when it happened, I'm like, okay.
It was so fast. You were like, it happened. You're like, wait, is it done? Oh, then okay. Mm-hmm.
I guess that goes into with the pacing because they are movies. Everything moved so quickly, which is my only huge critique. Is I wish we had a little bit more. I wish it was like 3 movies if they were going to go the movie route, so we could get a little bit more of those death scenes. And just, I don't know, I needed a little bit more just timing on that, because everything, it was like one moment someone died and then the next moment is a funny scene, and I'm like,
the emotional whiplash.
Yes,
like,
that's
hello?
a great term to point it. I'm like, darn it.
I think they would have been done better if they were a little bit longer, but I'm going to be honest, the Japanese do not do long movies like we do.
Yeah. And I know a lot of, in the fandom in general, people wish it was an anime. But with the way that Toei treats Sailor Moon, if it was an anime, we would have got crystal quality.
Yeah, I'll take the movies.
Same. It's just...
It would have been disgusting.
I don't know about you guys, and we don't have to talk about this too much because we have a script, but I really despise the way Toei Animation treats Sailor Moon versus all their other franchises that they own. And
the opinions I have on Toei.
You just activated Selene.
Yeah, okay, so you guys are on the same page.
No, you just activated the sleeper agent.
Maybe I need to come back and we need to have this discussion, because I have a lot of theories, and I'm sure you guys do too, that we should just bump off of each other.
I was gonna say, I'm like, we need this more.
What I can say about Toei cannot be said around people, because there are preschool toys present. Toei, if you're watching me, I got my eyes on you. It is on site. Hey, with the way you treat my homegirl Sailor Moon. On site.
We ready. Come on,
ready.
Toei.
Come on. These are the only fisticuffs I can put up. Okay, but I'm ready. I'm here.
Welcome to our show. I hope you're having fun.
That's what I got. Those are my fisticuffs.
I don't know. And let me know if you guys feel the same way. When you were all obviously diehard Sailor Moon fans, it means so much to us. The manga, I feel like, is so good, comparable to some of the popular stuff. I guess One Piece right now is the big one, but I feel like they make Sailor Moon the laughing stock, and Sailor Moon's reputation among other anime fans who don't watch Sailor Moon is it's girly, it's childish, it's this, and it's none of that. It is girl power, yes, but it's not childish. It's not the Pokemon anime that they may think that it is. And it just makes me upset that they could have made Sailor Moon, the reboot, an epic series when they started it all, and then they didn't.
I've always said this to people. I'm like, Sailor Moon is not a child's manga.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not.
People are like, oh, Sailor Moon was for kids. I was like, yes, because Toei wanted to make money on the merchandise. They got it.
We're here.
I don't want to talk about it. I got a whole room full.
I'm like, come on. You got
Toei owns so much of my money at this point.
Looks like we're going to have to come back, because Sailor V Dizzle said, yes, drop the Toei theories.
You want me to smack on them? I can. But
we're going to have to not stream that on my channel, which I don't want. Have you Toei be canceling channels? I'm scared of them, honestly.
We'll do it on our channel with an 18+ wall. It's fine.
Yes,
there you go.
Put a wall on there. They won't click that.
No, they won't.
But what's the manga called when it's meant for older? Is it Josei?
I don't know.
It's
audience, help us out. Answer.
Is it Josei? I think
Loki.
Because that's what I would label Sailor Moon as. It is meant for older teens. I'm talking 16+.
At least, yeah.
Understand the actual dark mental themes that Sailor Moon goes over.
Even though we all were younger than that.
Oh, I was like 8 years old in front of the TV. I love the magical transformations.
Except it wasn't in the 90s anime, really. Except when Mamoru was being a gaslighting.
Oh, yeah.
90s.
Yeah,
manga Mamo, however.
It just makes me sad, because I think Sailor Moon could be popular as One Piece and all these other, of course, male-dominated series if it was done differently and also promoted differently. Oh, the way that they did not promote the final ending of Cosmos outside of Japan. We had all those summer anime conventions. They could have done panels for the voice actors that did it. They could have done so much more. Netflix could have done something. I don't know. It just, sorry.
They could have got a booth. They could have had cosplayers. I know I could name you 20 off the top of my head who volunteer their time.
Absolutely. Like Netflix, and I don't know if this is even something Netflix does. That is another thing we probably should talk about, is like Netflix getting it. That kind of, that robbed us of a theatrical release, that robbed us of having physical releases, that robbed us of so much. Yes, it's accessible to a lot of people. A lot of people have Netflix, and I love to be able to just turn on my TV and stream it, but I would rather have a physical copy.
Same. I want the inclusions. I want the actual art. I want to physically own it.
Yes, Sailor Moon fans are also collectors.
Physically own Eternal, right?
You cannot physically own Eternal you can in Japan. So Japan, of course, has all of the physical media, but we in North America have not got Eternal because of Netflix. We only have up to season 3 on physical media.
Right, I was like, Viz, come on. Come through.
Come through. Do you not want our money?
Really?
Let me throw money at you. I will throw money. My wife coming in. Kodomo, for little kids or young children under about 8. Seinen, for young adult males or younger men, roughly between 18 to 40. Shoujo, for young teenage girls, roughly between 8 to 18. Seijin, ero manga, adult manga for males.
Oh, it's for males.
Was there another one? Because I thought there was one for adult women. I think it's josei. I want to say.
I learned a lot. Thank you for bringing that up and doing the little copy and paste.
Yeah.
I feel you, Sailor V Dizzle. Forever salty we don't have a physical copy of Eternal. Our collections are incomplete. We only have up to Crystal Season 3.
That's true. Oh my god. Now I'm never going to be able to look at it. Okay. I'm going to be upset.
Honestly, it's one of those things where you're like, you look at eBay and you're like, do you guys still sell the bootlegs?
I love how you're like, you're actual walking around that one.
All right, back on topic, Selene.
No. Okay. Is a term used to describe manga that is primarily marketed to adult women. The word josei means women. Josei manga is similar to shonen and seinen manga, which are for adults over 18, but josei is often considered to be more romantic and probably dramatic. That's probably what that's
yes.
Like. Oh, I learned something today.
We also teach on this channel.
YouTube is the classroom. Twitch is the
But yeah, transformations. I'm a little salty that I'm trying to remember Uranus and Neptune getting a transformation.
I just watched these. I watched part 1 yesterday and I watched part 2 today, and I do not remember seeing any of the outer transformations in these movies, only the inners.
I think they just was like, bam, here we are as scouts. Throws out their moves that are from the manga. Ta-da!
They're like, there's 10 of them. Do you need to see all of them? Yes, and in fact, we do. We do.
And triplicate, actually.
Yeah.
Triplicate.
But speaking of the one we did get, we got Sailor Chibi Moon's Pink Moon Crystal Power Makeup for the first time. And it was incredible. They did Chibi Moon so good. In fact, I just love Chibi Moon in Cosmos. She was so mature, so amazing. She made me cry.
She made me feel bad for every bad thing I've said about 90s anime Chibi Moon.
Same. She got her redemption in Cosmos.
She did. Like, I was like, you go, girl. Like, you getting your scouts. You go in to save your mom. Like, oh, it was so good.
And she was saying all the things the audience was thinking, you know, like, they're not the real true Sailor Guardians. They're just puppets.
Right? Thank God somebody said it.
Like, she was really mature and wise, but she was saying it, like, with such, like, she wasn't being, what's the term? She was really concerned. She wasn't saying it she usually goes, baka Usagi, stupid Usagi. She was actually saying it out of concern, and it came from her heart, and it was sweet.
Yeah.
But also her scene with Neo Queen Serenity.
Oh, that scene, it showed
That
such
was such a good
maturity.
scene.
Although I will say, when she is really concerned about what's happened in the past, because she's starting to see some really weird things in the future, and she goes and she's like, I want to go to the past, and she's like, go to bed.
Go to your room.
Good. I was like, oh my god, was she like that in the manga? And I read it, and she does say, no, go to bed, but you read it in a different tone. I didn't read it in that tone coming from Queen Serenity.
Of all people, isn't she the one? Oh no, wait, that's 90s anime. She has bad grammar, but she's still supposed to be Usagi deep down in there.
Yeah, you would think that even as a wise, mature ruler of the whole universe, she still would be kind of retired. I think it must have been like, I guess I like to think about it in like a more realistic sense. She's like probably super concerned, like stuff is happening and this is really serious and I don't need you yapping at me right now.
Yeah. I will say I liked her interaction with, like, at the end in the fight where she's, who are you?
Asking the good questions. She was asking so many good questions toward the end.
No, she really was. And then whenever she just says goodbye and just by tapping her shoulder and then just going off, and I'm like, okay, I know another figure I want. Can I place an order? I know we already have them with wings, but I want a new order.
These movies are so good.
They're so darn good.
I do have to admit, this is the first time I've talked in a public setting about them to the world. So this is a special moment that we're having right here. I haven't said my feelings, my opinions on them until today.
Oh my god, thank you for doing that with us.
Yeah.
We love that. We love new experiences.
So is there something else you wanted to talk about?
I loved the eyes. Usagi's eyes with the 5 different colors in them. Oh, I was like, this is gorgeous.
I remember they started that in Eternal and it just got better and better. Like in Cosmos, they really they solidified it. It was so beautiful. Yeah.
I really liked that. I liked it was when, and it's back to the battle with where it's guarding Chibiusa, and Chibi's eyes were pretty, but when she looks back over her shoulder at Chibiusa and then you see true Usagi eyes.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that is gorgeous.
I'm so happy the budget was in the eyes.
Literally.
Do we have a Luna back there?
We do have a Luna. How'd you guess? There, I did not name her. She came pre-named, but her name
really is Luna.
Her name is Luna.
I love that you have a black cat named Luna.
I do too.
And then so does Selene.
I have Luna and an Artemis.
No, you do not. Is Artemis white?
Yes,
he is, and he's a big, fluffy, chunky boy.
Oh my
gosh, I love him.
I love that. That's
and what's great about Artemis is he is, what is it? The one where they have 2 different colored eyes.
Oh, bi-eyed.
But he has one green eye and one blue eye, so he is manga and anime Artemis.
Oh yeah, because Artemis in the manga has green eyes, and in the 90s anime he had blue.
Yeah. And then Luna is a big fluffy black cat. She's very loving.
I'm part of the cat fam too. I love my cats.
Yeah,
I have a black cat as well, but he's a boy and his name is Mr. New.
Oh, I have a boy black cat too. His name is Naboo from Star Wars.
I was going to say the Star Wars. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm a big Star Wars fan too. Love Clone Wars.
Yes. I'm a big Star Wars fan too.
I will always stand Jar Binks. He's the best friend anybody can ask for.
I still say, sorry, I would get into different theories. I gotta stop myself.
I know, right? It's like, okay, whoops, stop it.
I know, I'm grabbing
the just good. I feel like we could talk about anything. It's good times.
Mm-hmm. Literally. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay, but something I did want to talk about is the theme of loneliness in the movie was really well done. I think that was the most mature concept that the movie dealt with, besides death, of course, but the way that they handled loneliness, especially using
coming back to help her, because otherwise Usagi would be alone and maybe she wouldn't make the same decisions as she did with Chibi by her side.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because Chibi changed the trajectory of stars.
So then if you think about it, does that mean when Cosmos was Eternal Sailor Moon, she didn't have Chibi there, so she was on her own? She didn't have her future self.
That's true.
Maybe. Because I'm just I did mention that. I was like, wouldn't Cosmos know that she went back and did all this stuff? Wouldn't she remember this stuff? So that could be that's a very good theory. Maybe this Cosmos didn't have that, so she was much more lonely, and maybe that's why she regrets the decision, because she doesn't remember having the speech Sailor Moon has and stuff like that.
No, I can totally
And
see it.
maybe bouncing off that theory, maybe because she didn't have the strength that Usagi has in the movie because she had with her and like telling her to destroy it, maybe chaos actually came faster for that Cosmos's universe because her star wasn't as bright when she jumped into the cauldron.
Aha.
Aha!
Aha. I will still always say we need maybe a standalone movie or a series of Cosmos's time and Cosmos as a guardian. That's what I want to see later on.
Oh, yes, we. Okay,
honestly, there's a lot of stuff that happens.
I will make sure we have at least a half an hour to talk about things we want. I will watch our time.
Need it.
That's the point, though, Selene, with the and Cosmos not having and things could have happened differently. Yeah, dude, yes.
Because at the end, you have the Cosmos fairy
Guardian
saying
Cosmos.
like that chaos is very small, is like almost non-existent. So it's still gonna chaos is gonna come back. You can't change that. Chaos is gonna be reborn as a sailor soldier. But I think the Usagi that now had that is going to be a much stronger Cosmos because even Cosmos was saying that's the true Sailor Cosmos right there. What she, at light and stuff, she's admitting that is the Cosmos crystal. And I think that the future that Usagi has, and maybe another theory of what we saw when Cosmos vanishes, it's almost like she drifts away, but peacefully. Like she's peaceful. Maybe she didn't go back to the future because she didn't shoot up like everybody else into the Cosmos cauldron. Everybody else went into the beams of light. She vanishes where she's standing. She actually like disintegrates in a rainbow.
You're right.
So maybe because of the future she created by going to the past, she erased her own future and that Cosmos no longer exists.
Oh, that is true because that's the whole
I've just
time
given you
travel.
guys so many brainworms.
Yes, because that's the whole time travel like stuff that just gets messed up. Oh yeah, things are different now, so she can't be the very distant or reincarnated or whatever version of Sailor Moon later on. You're right. Yeah.
She didn't go into the Galaxy Cauldron. Who went into the Galaxy Cauldron? Even the quartet went in to go back home.
That's true. Even the quartet.
Yep.
Cosmos stands there and fades into rainbow light. And it drifts away from the cauldron. It doesn't go in.
Because Cosmos was so sad from what happened in her life. And she was just like, I'm at peace now. I can go.
That's so and that's why she vanished.
That's so beautiful. But
that is beautiful. I would have never thought about that on my own. So that was beautiful.
See, that's why we do this, because there's things where we're like sitting here and I was like, hold on, let me spew this out of my mouth. Let it out.
Because to me, when I watched it, I just thought she would return to her time and things would be different, obviously. And she experienced some growth. She was inspired and motivated by, Eternal Sailor Moon, blah, blah, blah. But I like this better.
I like it better too. No, because we've had some, over the course of the show, we've had some great theories on who Cosmos was before we got to know. Like a particular favorite of mine was that from the Sailor Moon guy, his theory was that Mama Serenity, Buns the First, Usagi's mom, is actually Sailor Cosmos. There was like a timeline. Selene, I'm explaining this badly.
So what it was is because the manga worded it weird. Because she was like, I'm the future of Sailor Moon. Okay, but are you the future of Usagi's Sailor Moon? Is there another Sailor Moon who takes over? Because they mentioned that when Usagi became Neo Queen Serenity, she gave up being a scout. If I remember, that's what we were going over.
Yeah, that was our theory.
So he was like, what if Cosmos is actually like Queen Serenity's spirit or soul, and it's coming back as a Sailor Scout to save Sailor Moon?
Yeah, like to save her daughter.
That's why the mom energy was there.
Yeah.
It was a very cute theory. And I was like, that's really cute. But I was like, I think it's Usagi, but I want to know how she became a Sailor Scout again.
And it could also be a reincarnation. Maybe she is just born again in another time and she gets her past memories, like how our Usagi in the timeline we know, she knows about her Silver Millennium past, etc.
Yeah. And we know poor Venus remembers all the timeline.
Yes. Yeah, I remember your guys' podcast on that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I know.
Watch that, by the way. Definitely watch that on their channel. They have a really good in-depth about the Sailor V manga, codename Sailor V, and what happens in that.
Thank you.
Sailor V is just, I get to remember everything. Oh, thank you. This is exactly what I wanted. Everybody else,
and I
what?
read that manga. I think I've only maybe read that manga twice, and so I had forgotten a lot. And when I went back and I watched your guys' podcast, it like I feel like the themes and what had happened like sunk in deeper with you guys talking about it, kind of like how we're talking now. So love that episode.
No, it's always fun to go so in depth with it. That's why I wanted to bring up the loneliness theme, because it is something that everybody can relate to, and I think I don't want to say grounds the manga, but it like makes it more human.
Absolutely, because Sailor Moon ends up being almost forgetting her friends. They try to make her forget her friends and her lover and everything, and she does feel the loneliness for a moment. And then she actually loses them after they're gone. She loses them so many times. She sees them die, and then they're manipulating her brain, and she thinks they're gone forever, and then she knows they're gone forever because they disappear into the cauldron. And so many moments. Poor Usagi.
Also, the part where she has to fight them and she like screams out her battle.
Oh yeah.
I sobbed. I was like, oh, here, waterworks. Here we go.
I definitely do have a little part that I had to call out. Okay, so Evil Sailor Pluto. Have you guys watched the English dub, or have you guys just seen the Japanese subtitled?
I've watched English dub.
Okay, Veronica Taylor is the English voice actor for Sailor Pluto, and I have to say the way she went Kronos Typhoon, I was like, oh, I was taken aback. None of the other ones. I think Sharon Lily did a very good job doing Venus. Venus was awesome, but that evil part of Kronos Typhoon, when she said Typhoon, I was so good.
The voice acting, I actually really loved it in Cosmos. I'm a fan.
I'm a fan too, but I'm also a very big Viz dub supporter in a fandom that craps on it a lot. So I definitely am very like, overall it was really good. Oh, you know who else was really good, who we should give a shout out to, whoever voiced Sailor Tenyanko was so good.
Yes. Oh my god. And she was subtle about it.
I don't remember, but I remember seeing her posted on Twitter.
Oh, you actually follow her? I do have her name written down, but because I made some notes on who my standouts were of the English dub. And Jeremy Lee, who does Venus, was. Sailor Tenyanko was. And, I love Sandy Fox's Chibiusa. Those are like my standout ones for this one. But there was one, and I've talked about this with my friends. Whoever did Lead Crow almost ruined the movie for me as far as the English dub. It was not good. But everybody else was phenomenal. They all grew into their roles. They've been voicing these characters since 2014 now, and they've done so many episodes. And I think that they have just matured so well because they've grown with the characters.
I do love the fact that they got Amelie to do Heavy Metal Papillon. I was the monarch doing the butterfly.
So
beautiful.
Who is she like in the anime voice talent industry? Is there like a big celebrity?
She's done a lot of stuff on YouTube under Amelie. She does a lot of English covers.
Oh,
and she did an English cover for Sailor Moon songs. Also, she's done them.
So good.
She's really good. But she's a VTuber known as Monarch, and it's her villain persona that's called Monarch. So it's a butterfly. So they got her to be the voice actress for Heavy Metal Papillon.
Okay,
and I was like,
I love that. Those little connections that they made when they didn't have to. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everyone was like, the butterfly playing a butterfly. This is sensational.
Wow. Okay, I like that. So see, that kind of really makes me think that they really did do us a good. They tried to do their best at the English dub. I was pretty much all over impressed. Just that Lead Crow was the only one that I didn't care for. Everybody else was great.
So the cast was absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely great, and I will stand that cast to the day I die because they get so much hate, and I've actually met a lot of them in person. And the person who voices Luna, she said so sadly that they get attacked all the time because of the older Deke voice actors and the people who can't let that nostalgia go. And they're the collateral damage on that because they get yelled at all the time for it on social media.
That's
and I'm
so sad.
like, I try to be the person who stops that. Like if people come on my socials and say something rude about the English dubs today,
yeah,
they get blocked immediately. We don't deal with that.
As they deserve.
Absolutely. But yes, I'm glad you guys like the English, the Viz, or I know it's not Viz, it's Netflix now, but I'm glad to hear you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, I really liked it. I'm a big dub person, and I'll watch it sub and dub, so I like both.
Dubs are great today too. They hardly ever change the plot or the names or anything, so we can like trust them now.
Yeah.
But I
we
guess
can
since
trust
we're
them.
talking about it though, a lot of people do not like the way they do Crystal Eternal Cosmos with the honorifics. They think that's a little odd. How do you guys personally feel about the use of the honorifics, like Chan, San?
They're trying to match the mouth flaps.
They're trying to what?
To match the mouth flaps.
Oh, really?
So they can't cut off those honorifics because you're going to end up being like Usagi, and then you don't have Chan. You're going to have Chan as a mouth flap.
Oh, okay. I know that
So without
there are some
editing
techniques.
the movie, which they didn't.
Yeah, I know there's some techniques that they add just like an extra little or an extra word that still would be on par with translation. But you think for this one, they just wanted us to keep the mouth flaps the same. It's a good point of that.
I did enjoy because before we started, I did rewatch, like I said, rewatched all the parts with Cosmos, and then I read the parts with Cosmos. So I read that part of the manga of what I watched, and I did like the fact that almost verbatim, what is said in the manga is said in the movie, even in the English.
Yes, they did almost verbatim, as you said. It was pretty darn close.
And it was lovely. Like some of the things like a couple, they changed it because I think sentence structure, to be honest. But other than that, it's verbatim. So if you guys haven't read the manga yet, but you watch the movie, go read the manga. You will be like, you'll look up and you'll be like, oh, this is exactly the same.
Yeah, except you get a little extra, which is delicious.
Exactly.
Can we talk about attacks? Because I still wish we got real-time attacks. I'm getting sick of seeing Flame Sniper over and over. I do like the stock animation of a lot of them, and that's fine if they show it once in a while, but I wanted to see some real-time fighting and slashing your attacks and stuff.
No, I would have loved. I did though that we got Turbulence and Violent Tide.
Yeah, it was and then she did a dark version of it with the Galactica in it.
Yes, which is so cool.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh, so good. We did get some of those new ones. So yeah, I guess that makes up for the 3 times they showed me Flame Sniper.
Yeah, at least showed something like fun, because Haruka was different, I think, every time. Or was she?
No, they used the Space Turbulence a couple of times, and it was the same stock footage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Violent Tide, was Toon's one that we hadn't seen before.
Perfect.
Did we get another one? I think we got someone else's move that we hadn't seen before. Trying to remember. Oh, we got the Quartet's move.
Oh, yes, we did get the Quartet's move, yes, which those I could not tell you off the top of my head because I'm still learning those.
I just read it and I can't tell you.
Yeah, there's still some things that was going to take me a minute as a Sailor Moon fan. If we were at a Sailor Moon trivia and they're like, what did Sailor Series use for the first time in Cosmos? I may fail that question.
You'd be like, can I grab the manga?
I could definitely tell you. I'm looking through it now. I couldn't remember. I'm pretty sure it happens in the volume 10, which is the last one. But yeah, it was really, I guess we could talk about the quartet. We got to see a lot more of them, which was cool.
I really liked them, especially the poor children are standing there at the center of the universe watching everybody's crystals floating, and they take it well.
They do. And and you've got to think, what have they gone through in the future? They're just like, okay, cool.
No, literally. And then I do have some comments I want to highlight whenever we get time.
Let's highlight some right now.
All right. So, first one is, I have a question about the silver crystal. Was it originally Queen Serenity's starseed or Sailor Crystal?
Ooh.
That could be an entire episode in itself. Very easily.
There's a lot of plot holes, I feel like, in Naoko's work, which I don't know.
If I'm remembering correctly, it is because she's the one who left the galaxy cauldron with it.
Oh yeah, they do mention that in the very end.
With the star seed, because she wants a kid, and that's who Usagi is made. And I think Usagi inherits it because that's how she was made.
Yeah, it says right here, long ago there was another shining star like you who came here in her completed star form, and it is Mama Serenity right there. She held the empty shell of a small star to her breast, and indeed, that star had a radiance just as strong as yours, Sailor Moon.
Because that's a whole Virgin Mary scenario with Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
So that's how Sailor Moon's made, is the empty star seed. Mama Serenity goes there and says, I want a child. And the galaxy cauldron grants it inside this empty star seed. And that's how you get little Princess Serenity.
I don't think I ever put 2 and 2 together. That's awesome.
That's why I was like, I think I know this off the top of my head.
I'm glad you did, because as a diehard Sailor Moon fan, I didn't. And I'm like, now I know. Thanks to Selene.
It's actually one of my favorite little blips when I found out about it. I was like, that is the sweetest shit I have ever heard.
That is really sweet. And
I
now
was
we
like,
know
my
that.
heart.
And that's how we know, because she's going to keep having that crystal through her, I guess, her life and her reincarnations, etc. That's Sailor Moon from here on out because of her mom.
Mm-hmm. But it also shows why Usagi, Princess Serenity, is so near and dear to Mama Serenity. You see the love in the crystal when you have the scene with Mama Serenity cuddling the baby. That's because she couldn't have a baby until she went to the cauldron. Usagi is her miracle baby. That is why she is so tightly held to that baby. And also that's probably why when Usagi was reincarnated, she had the better life than the other scouts.
That could be an entire episode I could rant on.
Michi's like writing them down. This is gonna be another episode.
This is how we keep going. That's why we're on season 3, because we just keep finding new stuff to talk about.
Oh, Sailor V Dizzle found the attack. Okay, so it was like the group attack, Pink Lady's freezing kiss, and the Amazoness jungle arrow attack.
Yes. And we
Thank
got to see
you.
those. That was really cool.
Yes, and that's when they freed her from Sailor Heavy Metal Papillon's grasp.
One scene that really chokes me up in Cosmos.
Oh?
And it's the only scene where I legit just, it starts and I'm just tears running down my face, is when Usagi says goodbye to her mom. And Ikuko is standing there and I think she's saying goodbye to me.
Yeah, and she tells her to take care of the cat. She's feed them lots, okay?
She's like, bye. And she says, bye, mommy. Not mom. She says mommy. And I was like, not okay. Okay.
So good. And we knew that scene was coming too. That one is definitely in the manga. And they did it good.
They did it superbly.
It's the emotion. And it's both in the Japanese and the English dub. The emotion in Ikuko. Her emotion, I was like, I'm not okay.
You know what I think they did? Because that scene was they knew it was like a very emotional scene. And do you think that's why they gave us the extra scene when she comes back home and sees Shingo and her mom and her dad? And then I have to just stand up for this. This was going to be in my review, but I loved it when they reunited Luna with Usagi, which was so iconic. Luna has been there since the beginning. They've been BFFs. They've gone through so much together. And just that sweet moment of Usagi holding her in her arms after she just came out of that galaxy cauldron and beat it and everything. And that's another sweet moment of that one.
Because, Luna died. Like, she witnessed her die, too. So now it's like Luna leaping in her arms and Luna basically being like, welcome home.
Yep.
And you're like,
And I want to point to the audience who hasn't read the manga, that was not in the manga. They gave us that extra scene of her returning home as Usagi Tsukino to that family and to Luna especially. And it was just, I loved that they gave us that little extra.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And Usagi says, and it's just the little emotional things. It's her calling like her parents mommy and daddy instead, because it shows that she's still a little kid who needs her parents. And she thought she was never going to see them again.
But we also get like a sense now of how mature she is now, though. She's not super ditzy or anything. She's a total different Usagi now.
She really is.
And I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, it's like the girl
you, Usagi.
Oh, and I love this comment from Oshi. Yes, Luna and Usagi, how it started and how it ended.
Love that!
Stop.
Don't make me cry on camera. Don't make me ugly.
I'll do it. I'm already doing it. I'm crying. These are real tears. Look, you've already got me going.
Oh, good. I I just love Cosmos so much. And I'm like, if any Sailor Moon fan hates it, I'm just like, what's wrong with you? It is so good.
It is just so darn good. And like it's
I've had
also
arguments.
funny.
There's got to be something every Sailor Moon fan likes about it, right? They can't hate it entirely.
They gotta at least the animation or the music. Because oh my god, when Sailor Stars started playing in the second movie opening, I was just like, oh, yes. Oh my god. Like
it was nostalgic, was it? The Sailor Star song. When they say Machina, we're all ready, dude.
yeah, we're done. Let's go. This is our time.
The only thing I wish they would have done differently with that, and let me know if you guys agree or disagree. I know my opinion isn't, not everybody agrees with me on this one. I did not like the way they did the intros. I love the songs. I wish they would have swapped it and made those the outros, because the outros were so boring to me. It was just stills from the movies. I would have rather seen those intros as the outros. And instead of the intros being like that, since we're swapping them with the outros, I wish they would have done what they did for the Sailor Moon R movie. If you guys can remember the Japanese version, it gave us actual footage of what is going on. They could have gave us extra scenes with a theme song instead, getting us hyped, getting us ready, instead of an intro to an anime series.
Oh my god, that would be so cute.
I wish they would have gave us extra, and swap. And I still like the animation. It was very nostalgic, but I wish that would have been the endings, because the endings were awful. We could have did without those.
Yeah, because it felt like the start of an anime series instead. I agree. I think that would have been really great as your outros. And then do the intros going through the series. What is she doing? Is she going to school? What are we preparing for? Because then you don't even have to talk. You just got to animate and put the music to it.
Exactly. And that also can be a little bit just extra character development that we got. It could have been a little scene with her at high school. We did get a few of those, but give us more. Just give us a little extra during the theme song instead of just like the opening of an intro, because that is usually weird for a movie to do. So I wish they would have just changed it up a little bit. I think I would have been happy with that.
I can see that, because I love those movie openings. Those
movie
openings
are very iconic. I definitely agree. We have to keep those. But yeah, I just can't. Why didn't they give us something cool for the ending? Like, was anybody mad about that? It was like, I don't know, like a gray screen. I don't think it was gray. It was just a solid color screen. It had no text coming down and just cycling through stills of stuff we just watched.
I know, at least give us the option to buy them as lithographs or something. Like, at least do something.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to sit here and watch all of this.
No.
We know that that's another thing. There are endings. If you guys haven't seen them yet, why are you watching this podcast? You must love spoilers. But there is an after credit end scene on both.
Yes. Oh my god, good end scenes.
Yes. It really said the first one. It really sets you up for the next movie, because you're all like, "Ooh." And then the last one with Naoko's little word was another crying moment.
The fact she did that just for the fans was like so sweet that I wanted to.
Yes, when I saw that, then it really made me know that she does care about us, and she's not the one that isn't promoting it well or anything like that. Like, she does care about us. She cares about these characters, this franchise, and the way that she didn't have to write that note, and she did.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful.
Me too. Love you, Naoko.
So a really quick point out, because you did point out, it's weird that they did that for the Sailor Moon, right? For the Sailor Moon movie. Do you know what they don't do that in? The Demon Slayer movie.
Yeah. Yep.
You usually have animations, or it goes right to credits, like a black screen with credits. They usually have it's going through something. It's not like an anime opening. And I'm trying to think of another one. I don't think they did that for the Bleach movie.
I haven't seen that one. I have seen the Spy Family movie, and they did a little bit of animation to keep you watching it, because they had Anya just doing a couple of cute things.
Anya.
Okay, I think we can probably do 15 more minutes to discuss the movie, and then the rest of the episode will be Cosmos and what we want to see in the future. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to make sure that we're all on the same page.
We're not going to be on track,
I don't know. This is like wrangling wet cats. I don't know what you think. You put 3 neuro-spicy Sailor Moon fans in a room. Wet cats
have a lot of opinions and a lot of feelings.
I love it. So cute that Michi thinks she can keep us on track.
I'm gonna try
I
my
was about to say,
best.
my wife's not here. We're not keeping on track.
No, I need Loki.
No.
I literally thought I'm gonna rewatch this probably next week, and I know we have not. I haven't even looked at the outline. I'm gonna be real with you right now.
No,
No.
I've given up. I gave up
No.
a while ago. Don't
Stop.
worry.
Don't even look at it because
I'm
I
just-
peeked at it and I was like, oh, we're not going over that.
I'll try to keep us on topic of Cosmos herself for a little bit after the break. So when we're reset.
Good luck.
I know. Oh, you know
You
who
need
else
the
has
power of God in anime on your side.
you know who else has it rough? Ikuko Mama. That woman gets brainwashed more than any character. No, or is it Mama or her who gets brainwashed?
It's probably close.
It's close. She's been brainwashed to believe that she has 2 children that she never had.
She just accepts it.
Yeah, I gave birth a second time. And then that kid leaves. Oh yeah, I gave birth again a second time. Usagi, this is your little
And
sister.
then did you guys realize she's the one who gave Chibi Chibi her name?
No, really?
Yes, she's looking through her cupboard and she sees Chibiusa's cup, right? And she's Chibiu. And then the doorbell rings and she goes to the door and she's Chibi. And then she looks down and she goes, Chibi? And then Chibi repeats it, Chibi Chibi. And then it's from there on out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh, there we go.
There we go.
More
you know,
solved.
and again, that stuff is in the manga, but it's like sometimes I don't pick up on it when I'm reading it until it's on the screen. So I was like, what?
There's something also about it hitting in your native language on screen, and it like
You're right.
There's something about it. Like I've watched this show, and then another show I've watched like a million times in both English and Japanese is Assassination Classroom. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Highly recommend it. But it's the emotional toll that the shows can take on you, and hearing the different inflections are just, it's so interesting because they both hit, but they both hit in different ways.
Yes, that's a good point to make too. Yeah, it's just different. The experience is different, and even though you know you read it, it's just when you see it on screen, you're like, wow. This is new.
You say it's new. I've read this, but it's new.
Yep, it's new.
I've never seen it before with my eyeballs, even though I've read it.
I know, and I've read the manga probably 4 times. Every time, okay, since Kodansha came out with their 2011s, and then they came out with, what was after the 2011s? Was the Eternal Editions, right? And then they did the Naoko Takeuchi collections. I've been rereading them every time they come out. So I've read it a few times, and yeah, it's still forgot about it.
No, I feel like the movie made me appreciate the manga more.
Agreed.
I will say though, talking about the manga, the new re-releases of the manga are ugly. I've said it. That's
the
my
Naoko Takeuchi collection ones, yes, and they also have bad cutting. But are you gonna buy the box set that's coming out in November?
No.
Not even for the cool case that's got a magnetic enclosure and it comes with those art cards.
I can hear the add to cart right now.
I know, it just went up for pre-order this week.
No, they're ugly. They're not even girly pop cute. Like, you could have made them cuter.
But you know what? They are based off of the ones in Japan. I don't know if you guys knew that, but all of the editions are based off of the Japanese ones.
I just don't like that pale border around it. I'm like, just make it the whole thing. Just make it mini Eternals. Because I don't know what about it. It just, you see this saturated, beautiful picture and then a pale green border or a pale pink border. I'm like, my eyeballs hate this.
Yep,
so
and
much.
I just looked it up. So the Naoko Takeuchi collections are based off the 2018 Bunko releases in Japan, which look very similar. Ours are just a little bigger because Japanese like their little small manga volumes.
Okay.
Who was doing the graphic designs that day? They should be fired. Because that's some MS Paint going on. I'm just gonna.
Oh no, not the MS 1995 Paint.
They had used MS Paint, copy pasted the picture, and then they were like, "Let me pick a color."
All right, new subject.
Keeping us on track. Wrangle up them wet
Right.
cats.
So something. Okay, you want to know the most random thing I missed from the 90s anime that I wish was in Cosmos? The freaking Three Lights, their fan club, the head girl with the green hair.
Oh, yes,
Like,
I didn't think about that for a minute. Yeah.
I love her.
You do?
I cosplayed her when we did a Seiya episode. I literally bought a wig just for cosplaying
Was she
her.
the baseball lady that played with him?
Yes.
Okay. I was like trying to remember her. I'm trying to remember. She didn't have a huge part, but
No, I was just like, that was just one of my random notes that I had to put out because I was like, I just miss random 90s inclusions.
yeah,
like,
I
the
liked the
characters.
fan club thing when Ami's I'm number 4 or something like that. And everybody's I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Mean
yeah, she's surprised
that you're in the top
everybody.
10.
I do like how they did do it in Cosmos when Minako is looking through her fan book, and it's that cute scene where she's has her glasses on and she's going like this, looking at the fan book, and she has like steam coming out of her nostrils. This is so cute. I love that. I love seeing that animated.
No, so many of the scenes got animated that I like dreamed about being animated, and honestly, they all hit.
They all hit. Oh, so freaking good. Again, my bar was set low, but I love it.
Oh, a line I wanted to go over real quick. The line, how have you carried the burden of such heavy wings?
Oh yeah, that was, who said that?
Is such a good line. Why did you not put who said that?
No, I just watched that.
It's the second, I think Galaxia?
Was it Galaxia?
Or is it Seiya?
Seiya was...
Denzel saying it's Seiya says it.
Okay, then that was... They died quite a bit. Oh, yeah, it was Seiya. It's Seiya.
Okay. No, Seiya, that line,
Doesn't
I'm like,
say it when they're
Seiya.
like in the band room. He like turns to look at her and says it.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think they were already dead by this
Or he says it to himself as he's looking at her.
I think it is the band room when they're playing on the piano.
Yeah, because that scene just hit so heavy for me. Because if you think about it, Usagi is like our light and happy and cheerful character, and nothing ever gets her down. And this is the first time we're really seeing her break down. Oh, let me make you a little bit.
It is. You were right.
One
when
second.
They were, when Seiya and Usagi, like everybody else left the room, and they had a little moment.
Okay, so they did.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It says, I have to be strong for the upcoming battle with Galaxia. And then Seiya, have you always carried those heavy wings on your back?
Oh my god. So good. Yes, okay. And then, but yeah, that's just one of my highlights of it. And then
poor Seiya simping for a woman that is taken. Always simping for women that are taken.
Yeah. But I will say, I like how Usagi, because there's I think there's 2 moments in particular where Seiya or Sailor Starfighter asks Sailor Moon, hey, will you take my hand, or I will do this for you, or I will take you home. And Usagi's like, no, I'm good, thanks. Like she puts up them boundaries.
Mm-hmm. She was so fast to put up a boundary, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, she was. Like, it was the one when Seiya was asking to walk her home, I think. And she's like, no, I'm okay, Michi, but we are guardians after all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. Oh, go ahead, Selene.
I said my favorite is when they're about to fly off and Sailor Starfighter extends the hand and Usagi puts her hands up and she's I'm fine.
Yep. Hey man,
like,
Seiya tries. We'll give that to him.
No, and what I love about Seiya is it's interesting because in the 90s, I am Team Seiya. And this is something we talked about because we did an episode just on Seiya with The Last Black Moon as a guest, and it was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna have to watch that one.
That's a really fun. Make sure that one's definitely an adult one, but it's a really fun one. But I'm all Team Seiya in the 90s anime. In the movie in Cosmos, I am not Team Seiya.
As toxic as that is, I live for that drama too. In Sailor Stars in the 90s, just man, I love drama, but I get both sides.
And I respect both. I respect however everybody feels, but that's just my personal. No, I have a little soft spot right now for Seiya in the 90s.
Oh man, that'd be another. Oh man, okay, I'll shut up because I was like, that'd be another movie I'd like to watch and explore.
I will say this for 90s, like I said, 90s Sailor Moon, I'm all Seiya Usagi because 90s Mamo is trash.
As Galaxia says all too often, trash.
All right, I think that's our signal for break.
Oh yeah,
yep. Okay.
For my audience who doesn't know, we are going to take just a quick break. If you guys take a break too. Go use the restroom, go grab a snack, go grab a drink. We'll be right back.
Yes, all right. I'm going to put up our away sign.
Snacks and hydration.
Yes.
Go do it. We told you to already do it.
Hello, everybody, and we're back for the second half of Sailor Cosmos and Beyond with our wonderful guest, Brooke. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. I didn't know we were going to have such a long break, so I had myself a snack, put my hair up because I was sweating in here, and I'm ready to go for part 2.
You were like, yes, Brig. Oh my God. I love how you're like, I'll be back.
I'll be back. Thank you, baby.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let's get into Sailor Cosmos because we now know who Sailor Cosmos is, which is like groundbreaking in the Sailor Moon community.
Yes, even though it is directly from the manga, I don't think they gave us anything extra than.
Didn't they give us something extra?
They gave us an extra bit. They said she is the future of future Sailor Moon. That was in the
manga, though.
It just said I'm the future of Sailor Moon, I think. Hold on. We'll double check.
I was going to say, I just got to that part today, and so it's very in my memory. Yeah, okay. I think it was verbatim. Let me see.
I could be completely wrong.
But like we discussed earlier, it's different when you watch it on the screen. Things are processed differently. We make the connections differently.
Yeah, something hit in my brain differently when seeing it animated, where my brain is like, what?
Yes. Who made that comment? Do you remember? Was it?
Oh, okay.
As far as the character went.
The character, was it Cosmos herself? Or no? Now I'm trying to remember. But Ura says that they gave us future flashback sequences with Cosmos in the ruins of Crystal Tokyo.
That is true. And that one character that looked a lot like King Endymion, but wasn't. It didn't have his same clothes as King Endymion did, but it looked like Amamoru.
Wait, it wasn't him? I thought it was.
I went back and I looked at what King Endymion looks like, and it's completely different clothing.
Go figure.
But it's clearly Mamoru, or some sort of future version of Mamoru, or a reincarnation of Mamoru, because that I can't see him drawn any other way.
Exactly.
That was new. That was the new part that we got.
I found it. So what she says specifically is Sailor Moon's future ultimate form.
And who says
it's not
that?
her saying it. I think it's a thought bubble from the quartet.
Okay, so that's where the quartet is still.
But in the Cosmos movie, Cosmos actually says, I am the future of future Sailor Moon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we finally got that, because I remember going, and this was, I think it was a couple years ago, I was at an anime convention, and I was sitting next to this girl, and I had always thought in my head that Sailor Cosmos, to me, was some sort of version of our Sailor Moon, whether that was a reincarnation, or if she lives to be that old in the distance, something along those lines. I knew she was connected to our Usagi that we knew. And I thought that was clear to most fans, but it's not. And I'm not shaming anybody who didn't know that, but I just remember this person was sitting there. It's not Sailor Moon. It was like arguing with me. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, I'm wondering what that fan is thinking now.
Yeah, because it was so, like, just the way they portrayed it in the movie was so crystal clear. It was so well done. It left no room for arguments.
No, and speaking of, I did make a couple of notes on more just evidence that alludes to that. At the end of part 1, Usagi's thinking about who Chibi Chibi is and says, there's something familiar about you. And I think that's a little bit of evidence, because that means like she knows her in some way, whether that's her future form or not. And then in part 2, Chibi Moon is trying to figure out who Chibi Chibi is and makes the claim, you're incredibly powerful, aren't you? Just like Sailor Moon.
Oh.
Yup. And then I think those were really the only evidence before we get to Cosmos on that. Yeah. But I just thought those little tidbits that Naoko wrote in her manga, that Chibi Chibi feels familiar to Usagi in a way, and Chibi Moon makes that comment that you're powerful just like Sailor Moon. That's cool.
Yeah. What are you trying to tell us? Like,
are you hinting at something?
The Company Which has a good thing that that's why this was such a debate. I've mentioned earlier, it said Usagi gave up being a scout when she became Neo Queen Serenity.
Oh, yeah.
And Chibi Usa becomes the new Sailor Moon, essentially. So some of the debate was, you said Sailor Moon's ultimate form, but if Chibi Usa, what if Sailor Moon's title passed to Chibi Usa when she takes over while her mom's queen? So that's where some of the debate came from for that.
But also, it's like things can change too. Okay, we know that Neo Queen Serenity eventually gives up being a guardian. She retires. But what about if we know from Cosmos, stuff goes down and maybe she has to transform once again, and she's no longer Sailor Moon anymore, because that's what Sailor Chibi Moon is. So maybe that's why she takes on the Cosmos form. That could be.
Because if you think about it, oh man, we're getting deep now.
It's just, or her star seed matures to Cosmos. So the confirmation with everything. Sailor Cosmos says she's become Cosmos. at that moment. So Cosmos is essentially dormant and asleep in Usagi when she jumps into the cauldron.
Good point. So Cosmos only comes out when she's got to.
Yeah, so Cosmos gave me like the final form.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Ura in the comment just said, what if Usagi becomes Cosmos after Chibiusa dies in battle?
Oh, yeah, because obviously we know all of Cosmos's allies are dead, apparently, because that's why she comes back and tries to change the future. Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. I could see that happening because there was a point made with Neo Tokyo when she was battling Diamond. Why didn't she transform and stuff like that and go fight as a scout? Why did she walk out as Neo Queen Serenity to fight instead of transforming into Sailor Moon? So that'd be a really good point, is like Chibiusa falls in battle because she is the new Sailor Moon essentially, because that's what Chibiusa and her scouts are. And then the Guardians are meant to guard the castle, but Chibiusa is meant to go out and do so. That would be a great thing. That sadness of losing the last thing is what unlocks her Sailor Scout again.
Oh my gosh.
Cosmos.
Yes, I like it. I love that theory.
So sad and heartbreaking. But that would make more sense because Cosmos is meant to be a very tragic character. And to have her become a Sailor Scout from a tragedy makes her even more tragic.
We saw what happened with her mother. She went all to the very brink of everything to do anything for her daughter.
But it's cool that we finally get confirmation just who Cosmos is. And Chibi is actually Sailor Cosmos, just she wasn't fully matured yet from traveling so far and all of that. Because in the 90s anime, it was completely different. We didn't even really get a reference to Cosmos. We got her silhouette, but it was never stated she was Cosmos at all.
Never.
This was really one of those new things that I think Sailor Moon fans from the 90s just ate up on screen.
No, literally. I was like, yes, please, keep going.
Yes. It was awesome.
No.
The only thing I will say, the weird thing to me, and maybe we could talk about this since this is relevant to the Cosmos movies.
Yeah.
What are the little tiny Sailor Guardians that guard the castles? And it's like it's some sort of like physical consciousness of the Guardians. I don't understand the little Guardians that float around.
So this is what I've understood just from reading the manga. And when you hear the other, like the Animamates mention how they stole the power, I think the little fairies are actually like they're the guardians of the crystals, because I think the crystals pass down on other planets. Unlike Sailor Moon, that her galaxy, they're immortal because of the Moon Kingdom, where I think in other places the little fairies are meant to guard the crystals because they get passed down through the scouts. That was always my thought for it.
Yeah, those are so strange, and they don't go too deep into it. And they're so strange. They're just like you said, fairies essentially. That's a good term to use for them. But they're just strange. No, in the manga they're called guardians.
Oh,
they're just like mini guardians. Yeah, when they go to their castles, they're like, let's go talk to. Oh, they're called like Guardian Uranus, Guardian Pluto.
Yeah, that's it.
Because the Guardians are also Sailor Guardians. I'm confused.
Yeah, no.
But I like the term
Sailor Galaxia because she awakened as a Sailor Scout, so she was given the power of a Sailor Scout. So maybe
that is true.
That's my only thing. Yes, they're a little weird, and I think Naoko just wanted to do cutesies because you have in the art book, the materials one, where Luna was supposed to have a fairy companion, and that fairy got written out, and it was supposed to be like a fairy that annoyed Luna. Like she was supposed to like mess with Luna continuously, and Naoko ended up like nixing her because she didn't fit the story. So I'm wondering if Naoko was like, I want my fairies.
Yeah.
They're guardians now.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what it is.
They were just so strange. I never could really wrap my head around it, but with the kind of more expansion of our Sailor Moon universe and then go into space and of course the Outer Guardians castles and everything, and I'm gonna point at you, Michi. I always think, why can't I have a Sailor Moon show that kind of mixes in Star Wars, where there's so much different planets and they can go to each other's planets, see what's going on, fight some battles, help each other out. I would love to see a Sailor Moon / Star Wars type of show where we just get expanded into all over the universe and galaxy.
Yes. Money, even more than I've already put myself in debt with.
But like every time I watch those castle scenes where you go in and they're very high-tech castles, I always think of Star Wars. I'm like, this is like Sailor Moon meets Star Wars, and it's freaking cool.
That's the thing, is that anybody that I've showed it cannot deny that it is a cool movie.
It is a cool movie, and I would love to just know more about those dang castles, because they just throw them in there towards the end of the whole series, and they don't really tell us much about them other than Mama Serenity gave those to the Outer Guardians for their bases, etc.
I think that Mama Serenity gives them and then she just leaves them.
Yeah.
Here's a place to live. Bye. That's what she did. I give you these so you have a house of your head. Goodbye.
We talk about plot and the way that she writes things. There are some questions I have, like how Luna and Artemis never told Usagi about their planet Mao. And it only comes up when they meet Tenyanko. And they're like, you disgraced the planet Mao. And then Usagi's looking at them and is, you're from planet Mao? Like, why was this never a conversation?
Literally, like how have you guys never told them? I don't understand.
I know it's oh man, okay, I gotta stop this because that's gonna go into our last part. Because,
yeah. So let's finish up with Sailor Cosmos. So her speech, how did her speech make you guys feel?
Even in the manga, it made me really sad because you can tell she's gone through a lot. She's watched everyone die and she couldn't save them in her universe where she's from in her timeline. So her speech, though, I enjoyed it in the Cosmos movie because she said a little bit more. Like I said, she says, I am the future of future Sailor Moon. And then she goes into everything. And I think it's really, we were touching on with the fact that she went into the past. And we think she changed the timeline because she went back. That's where that theory came from. Because I was like, wouldn't you have seen yourself before? Did you not have a... So it's a very interesting speech when she's talking about it. And she's become Cosmos. I'm becoming strong. I can be a stronger Cosmos and become the true Cosmos because of what she just told me and what she has said. But I'm still like, did you actually go back though? Because now I'm suspicious. But yeah, she realizes the true power of Usagi, but also that Usagi was never going to change her mind. The same decision she made, Usagi was going to make, because that's the kind of person Usagi is. And Cosmos forgot that about herself.
Because she's been through so much. That's probably easy for somebody in her state to probably lose that kind of hope and faith. And seeing her past self really restored her faith in herself. It was beautiful.
No, and she got hope in the time that she needed it the most. And it's beautiful because it kind of represents hope.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Cosmos to come from that is a really beautiful metaphor.
Oh, that part, man, it was also emotional and beautiful, and just such a great metaphor to relate to everybody else's lives too. Naoko, you did it.
Yes, 10 out of 10. You got your movie that you deserved.
How did it make you feel though, Michi? What was your feelings watching the Cosmos speech?
Honestly, I wanted to start crying immediately when she starts, especially when she's looking up at the cauldron and she just looks so desperately sad but hopeful at the same time. And you can tell that in her head she's going through it. Like there's so much going on in there. And it's just like for her to give that speech to the quartet and be like, give them hope for the future. Because that's what she's doing, is igniting the hope for the future.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought was the most beautiful way to end it.
It was so good. I know when I watch it, of course, that is like the most iconic thing about the ending of the books is Cosmos, because we never got to see her animated. So that was like a huge anticipation thing for a lot of fans. And I know we each had our own personal experience with it. And for me, it was just surreal seeing that character on the screen. I thought I'd go my whole life not seeing that. A lot of feelings there, and I get conflicted on this, on how vague Sailor Cosmos is. She doesn't really reveal a lot. There is still room for us to talk and think of theories and stuff, and I think that's what Naoko wanted. She wanted to keep it a little open for imagination and whatnot, and a part of me loves that, and then a part of me is, no, I want to know really what you're thinking, Naoko. I need a little more.
Yeah, like,
and then I'm like me, and I'm like, I'm autistic, ma'am. You need to tell me what you're trying to tell me.
Absolutely.
I can't just guess. I need to know
Although
facts.
you're very
I
good,
work on
though.
facts.
You are very good at guessing and putting two and two together and coming up with theories that make sense that are probably true.
Thanks.
That's you're like, you probably do
power.
that because you're like, I need the answers.
Literally.
My superpower.
It's your superpower. But I am always conflicted when I read it in the manga. When I watch it on screen, I love the little bit of mysteriousness that still is there about it. And then sometimes I'm just like, I just want the answers. But all in all, it was a big moment, I think, for all Sailor Moon fans on the planet.
And especially because in the cosplay scene, Sailor Cosmos has been popular since the manga came out.
Oh, yeah. And her fuku is beautiful. Her sailor uniform is beautiful.
Wow.
It's
so
different. And it's just...
Wait, it incorporates all the colors? Like...
Oh, and we got the Cosmos transformation, too.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God.
I would have liked it a little bit more to it, but we did get something.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, you know what? I'll eat your crumbs. Fine. I'll eat the crumbs. Because Toei, I've been eating your crumbs for years now.
Yep. We won't stop. Even though we should stop because they treat us terribly. We're still
like, please give us more. Hello. Oh, but what do you guys think of Sailor, which I know Sailor Cosmos and Sailor Moon never meet, or do they?
Wait, what?
Wait, for a second.
It's like a split second, right?
Yes, because Chibi transforms into Cosmos and they are like cheek to cheek.
That's what it is. Okay, because I've watched the movie twice, but you know how it hasn't really set in yet. But
one more time, you just got to watch it. Third time's a charm.
Absolutely. But you are right. That's a good point to make. I don't know why I didn't think about that more. It is very brief. She's talking to is what happens and he's saying have faith. And
yes,
that's when she finally has here, and I'll show this in the that is the moment where Cosmos and Eternal Sailor Moon meet for the first time, and
it's like their cheek.
Yes. And what happens after that? Let me see. Even though I just watched it too. Yeah, and then she holds her hand. They're holding each other's hand. Says, "You're right. We won't lose because we are Sailor Guardians." And then that's when Sailor Moon jumps into the cauldron, and then that's it for the meeting between the two.
Yeah, they have a second of conversation.
Yep.
No, but it's an interesting relationship if you think about it. Usagi seeing her future, but yet it's a different future than she thought she knew. To see Cosmos instead of Neo Queen.
And I wonder too if she's even thinking that. I feel like Usagi is so hyper focused on getting her friends back. I don't even know if she's like, Chibi is cool, you got silver hair now and you're this adult, but I'm going in this cauldron to go save my friends and get back to life.
Then she just goes for it.
She does.
No hesitation.
She didn't even ask who are you? Nope, I'm going in the cauldron right now. Gotta go save my friends. Know what to do now. But peace out. Bye.
She's yeet. Bye. Oh, you're a Sailor Guardian too? I gotta go. Bye. Yep. Off the cliff.
She don't even question it.
Yeah, she's just bye.
Love that reenactment. Spot on.
Yes. Wait, one more. I am Sailor Moon. I've met Sailor Cosmos.
Someone needs to make that as a short form reel.
Loki, can you clip that for us?
We need that as a clip for us to promote people to come watch this later on our socials.
That's
me. Please. Because that was
reenacted the end of the movie. Congratulations. You don't even have to watch it. You just watched it. Well, I'm doing the Lord's work. I know.
Clearly, you've learned a lot.
When I tell you I love being a VTuber.
I'm gonna have to subscribe. This is gold.
Yay!
I love being a VTuber. It is the faces I make as a VTuber, and then people are just like, I can't breathe. I'm trying to not laugh at you. And I'm like, laugh, let it out. Let your power shine.
Oh my god. But what I wanted to talk about specifically with Cosmos was her role in the Sailor Moon franchise and how I feel like she's almost a metaphor for not giving up. The fact that we finally got her. We had to go through so much to get this movie. Seeing her made me emotional on a different level because we finally got her.
We subconsciously had to be Sailor Moon fans up until our older adult years for this.
Yes.
We went through all the ridicule. Oh, you're 36 and still like Sailor Moon? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, my
Hi.
house is covered in it and I'm tattooed. Would you like to know more? This is my special hyperfixation interest. Let me talk to you about it.
No.
I cosplay it too. Let's go.
Let's go. What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? You're
Sailor
gonna make
Cos
fun
is
of
so
me?
good.
I make fun of myself every day. You got nothing. I'm meaner than you are.
I know, right? Don't want to listen to what's going on in that head.
I'm much meaner than you will ever be.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I think my problem is I know we got it. I know we got the movie. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. They followed the manga. They did what they were supposed to do, which they should have done for the rest of the franchise.
Preach it, sister.
Just saying. However, my problem is they did not do enough for us. I don't think so. They did not give us enough. They're still not giving us enough. And I'm just like, I am an adult with adult money. Why aren't you giving me more? Hold on. I'm going to talk to you right here. I am an adult with adult money. Why are there only 3 Sailor Cosmos figures
Here, let me help you out.
that are official? Hold on. Yes. I need to be big. This is my soapbox. Why is there not more? Money. The fandom is older. What don't you understand? We have money. Take our money. Take my please. That was my soapbox. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I think everybody here stands beside you on that soapbox.
Yes, 100%.
Yes, you said everything that we were thinking.
Big brain. I got a big brain in this pink head, I promise.
We need more merchandise if we're going to touch on that just a slight, because when we got Sailor Cosmos animated for the first time, that was opened up a huge opportunity, right? And all we got was some acrylic stuff, a pin, I think. We got some stationery stuff. We got a little tiny plush. Why don't we have a bigger plush? We got the Figure Art Zero Chouette. We got the Q-Paw skets. Where's our SH Figure Arts? Where's our Sailor Cosmos staff Proplica? Come on.
Oh my god.
Where is it?
Imagine?
And also, what
Where
is
is
the
it?
name of her staff?
Sailor.
I don't think they never said it. I'm pretty sure I would know. I'm pretty hyper fixated on the names of all the items.
Yeah.
The magical items, and I don't think her staff has a name. That's gonna bother me.
No, it doesn't.
That's why they can't make it a toy, because what would they call it? No, they could just say Sailor Cosmos staff.
Yeah, like that would work.
Yeah, I don't gotta have a specific name.
They literally call Sailor Moon's wand the Moon Wand.
Yes, and you know what? I don't think they ever had a name for the Eternal article in the 90s, so when they made the toy, they just called it an Eternal article. And that's how it got its canon name.
I love that. Oh my god. Anything else we want to talk about Cosmos herself that we want to talk about? Anything else?
I worship the ground she walks on.
We want more.
We want more.
Oh, we have to
step on me with those heels, please. Just give me more.
But let's talk about real quick the fun fact that the Japanese voice actress for Sailor Cosmos was the original Sailor Mars in PGSM.
Oh yeah, in the Japanese.
Yeah, like how cool is that to still be like a part of the franchise so many years later? And they love the show so much. I love it. Big fan.
She was like I was in tears when they told me that I was going to be Cosmos, because she's such a big Sailor Moon fan. And I was like, you deserve it, Queen. Thank you for giving us the most beautiful voice ever.
No, we absolutely just adore. That was the one last thing I wanted to talk about with Cosmos.
As a Sailor Moon fan, if you worked on the show, can you just imagine how cool your life is?
Oh my god.
Oh wait, can hire me. I would make it better.
Same. I'll just be on the merchandise section. I'll just tell you guys what to make, and I'll make sure everybody gets what they want.
Yeah.
I'll run the movies with my fan theories.
There you go.
I will make fan theory movies. I got this.
You connect the dots so well. You'd be perfect for it. Perfect.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll write the series. Mm-hmm. Naoko, I need you to illustrate this right now, please. I'm like, I respect you with all my heart, but I've written this. I need you to draw it now.
I need to be bossy to her. I need you to do that.
All the audacity in the world.
The only person I've been able to meet from the staff is Usapi. Osabi.
Oh yeah.
I got to meet him.
Oh, Osabu.
Yeah. I got to meet him, and that's it. And he actually saw my Sailor Moon tattoo, and he was like,
Did you meet him during Anime Matsuri?
I met him during
because he was there at that convention in Texas, and that's when I met him for the.
I went to the big California one. What's that? Is that Anime Expo?
Anime Expo. He was there.
I went to Anime Expo during when they were doing Eternal.
Oh wow!
Because it was
cool.
They were promoting Nehelenia's. Not Eternal. I'm sorry. They were promoting Nehelenia's arc coming out from the original 90s.
Oh, that's awesome. I've seen Naoko before, but I've never got to approach her. She was in the back of a musical that I was when I was in Japan one of the years, and one of my friends said, that's Naoko, and she bolted out before anybody else, but she was in the back watching one of the musicals that I attended one time.
Oh my god.
That you were in her presence.
In the same room.
Oh my god, in the same room.
That's all that matters. You were in the same room. I have also
talked to Kotono, which is the Japanese voice actor of Usagi. She was sitting in one of the musicals as well, and my friend with me who knows some Japanese, she's like, we should go up to her and just very nicely say thank you for your work. And she told me what to say in Japanese, and I bowed to her, and she bowed back.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Me would be in tears on the ground. I'd be like, I love you so much.
They'd be like gaijins.
You're like, we gotta go.
They're like, this is why we don't go to the USA.
So why don't we spend the rest of the time and we can just bounce off each other we'll start with our guests. So Brooke, what would you like to see happen in the future?
Oh my goodness. I have so much. I don't even remember what I wrote to you because for those who don't know, Michi did an outline and asked that question and asked me to reply with my answers. I don't remember what I wrote. I probably sat down and really thought about it for a minute and wrote out some really good stuff and processed it correctly. But right now I'm just going to do it in the moment. So what I would like to see, and this is like saying the manga to animation is now done. More for Sailor Moon, correct? That's the question?
Yes.
In the
franchise?
Would you like
to see happen?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love, I guess first and foremost, I would love it if Naoko did more Sailor Moon manga. And I don't really care in particular what she does, just give us something new. If it's a continuation of our story that we have with our guardians, that's fine. I'll take it. If it's Chibi Yusa and her Sailor Quartet, I'll take it. If it's the Cosmos stuff, I'll take it. If it's something else brand new, I'll take it. But I would probably prefer something that has to deal with Sailor Moon, but I'm pretty sure it'd be cool either way. But in addition to that, I would love some standalone movies. I think the R, S, and Supers movies were fantastic. I enjoyed them all. My favorite being R. I thought that had the best direction and the best animation. I would love to see something like that where anybody could watch it and know what's going on. A standalone movie that's obviously we've already seen all of her written work, so it could just be something that maybe Naoko can produce and make up a story on herself. There's also a ton of short stories that she's done that can probably be produced into some sort of OVAs or short anime series. I don't know. Maybe even the Sailor V manga gets an anime adaptation. I saw some eyes lit up there. But yeah, something like that along the lines, and I'm sure you guys all agree and back me up on all of those. So.
100%. I would love to see, and give us any Naoko.
Right? At this point, anything. Just do not let us go into another dry period, please. My little heart couldn't take it.
I can't. I want to see I would love to see Sailor V, because with the way animes are going now, where they're like only 12 to 15 episodes, I was like, you can do Sailor V in that many times. Just follow the manga. Let me hold your hand. I will repeat myself. Follow the manga. Okay? Because you put Crystal, the bar was down below in the flames because of what you did with Crystal. Do not give me another Sailor Moon Crystal season 1. For the love of God, please.
There's now the flames. Oh my God, yeah. It's funny. We did something else speaking of original movies, that the third movie was originally supposed to be about Haruka and Michiru, right?
I didn't know that. No.
Okay,
where'd you find this out?
We did a whole episode on it, and it's called the Utena movie. Was supposed to be about Haruka and Michiru, and it's 100%. If you look at the Sailor Moon wiki and you Google Utena movie Haruka and Michiru, it was literally supposed to be about them.
Are Sailor Moon characters in an Utena movie? I've never seen Utena. I know what it is, but I've never seen any of it.
It was the director of the anime wanted to do a movie about the two, more about them, more focused on them.
Okay.
So what happened was that would have been possibly the third movie. But what happened was the idea got essentially scrapped and nixed. Like they said no. So he went off to go do the Utena movie. So he ended up making a lesbian movie, but with other people because they couldn't do like a Michiru Haruka centralized movie.
I would take that now. He can come back.
Like, how much money you need?
Yeah, I don't got a lot, but I'm sure we could do a GoFundMe. Yeah.
Oh my god, can you imagine if they did a GoFundMe? I think it would break the website.
It freaking would. They would have to give us a lot of movies. We would give them so much.
We would give them so much.
Fandom could fund all of the movies. Let's go.
Yes, they're gonna have to like deliver this time though. No more crystal incidents.
Or crystal animation incidents. Don't pause during season 1, please.
I just remember all of the still shots fans were capturing before they fixed some of the animation, and that Mars one was so
fixed. You say fixed, and I'm say huge quotations.
Some of them
the biggest you can find.
Yes, because some of them are still not great. Are they better? Yes, but they're not what I called fixin'. It's laughable now. And the thing is, as Sailor Moon fans, I have to always tell people when I maybe talk badly about Sailor Moon in some way, I'm like, I still stand Sailor Moon 1000%. I will still say I'm a fan of Crystal Eternal Cosmos. It may not be my favorite adaptation, but I can now say that Cosmos redeemed it all.
It's each part has a place in my heart for its own specific reason. At least to me.
I will bad talk, bad mouth Crystal all day. Do I still watch it? Absolutely. Have I watched it 5 times? Yes. Do I still insult it every single time? As I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, honey, why is your face like that?
Why is your head so big?
As I watch it.
Do I own all the special editions? Yes, absolutely. Yes. I own all the special editions.
The limited edition that came with all the extra stuff. I remember the Viz Media ones came with the little, what do you call it, sun catchers. I got them all.
Yeah, do they not think we will be here? Hello.
Maybe that's why they just did it, whatever. If they produce trash, we're still going to buy it.
Listen, I will buy trash, but I can't keep buying trash and filling my house with it. It'll become a dumpster. And then a landfill.
Okay, but Selene, I didn't let you do this last week.
Yeah, you shut me up very fast.
Because this episode was coming, I literally had to tell Selene that she was not allowed to say anything about what she wants to see in the future.
She made me stop yapping. She was like, stop right now. And I was like, what? Why am I stopping? And then she was like, our episode is next week. And I was like, what do you mean it's next week? I thought it was later in September, and I was like, no. Listen, I'm going to Disney next week, and I've only had Disney on the brain. So, my thoughts. Sailor V, yes, I would like to see Sailor V. She deserves that. I don't understand why it hasn't gotten one at this point. My other thing, I would like to see, and bouncing off the theory I made in my head about Cosmos, I would like to see Chibiusa as the Guardian, go through that, but pull the future towards Cosmos. So it's Chibiusa doing what she's supposed to do, being the Guardian, and we see that, and we get glimpses of Neo Queen Serenity, the other scouts doing their thing, but I want to see it move towards the war of Cosmos and complete that. But this time, with my theory, Cosmos doesn't go back because this Usagi is the one that got Chibiusa, and it no longer has to happen. And she beats chaos and brings everyone back. Because, of course, everybody's going to come back in Sailor Moon because they always do. It's like your Tamagotchi dies and you reset it. That's what Sailor Moon is.
God, now we need Sailor Moon Tamagotchis, please. Why is that not a collab?
Why is it not a thing? Why did Demon Slayer get Tamagotchis?
Oh, I know. I have the Inosuke one. It's so cute. We could have even had Luna Artemis or the Chibi Guard. I would take it all.
Oh my god. I'd take a Diana.
Put those stupid fairies in there. I would still buy it.
Yes.
Right?
I would buy
Oh
it
my
in a heartbeat.
God.
I've got the Shinobu one because I love butterflies.
Oh yeah, she's cute too.
So I would like to see that, especially with my little theory. That's why I'm like, Toei, can you hire me? I will make you so much money. I don't think you understand, Toei. I will make you so much money in Sailor Moon.
And the thing is, I don't think it's more of Toei now since Naoko has such a hold on her franchise. I think she has got her foot down. And it would have to go through her. You're going to have to convince
I'll be like,
Naoko.
Naoko, do you want to sit down and talk? Do I have a translator? I need a translator. Translate this correctly, please.
No, but you're so right that right now the franchise is in her hands.
Yeah.
Whenever
And rightfully,
she-
they
Yes.
really did do her dirty in the 90s, even though we do love the 90s animation or the 90s show with all its character development and Monster of the Days and everything. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's in a different era. So would you say then, Selene, if Naoko did that, would you want it as a manga first or straight to movie?
I would like it as a manga first. I want to see the story fleshed out correctly first. And then it come to being a movie, like a 2-part movie like Cosmos. Or it would have to be an anime series if it's long. If it's long, it needs to be an anime series. You cannot, because look, I know that Nehelenia is not a huge arc, but I did not appreciate it being 2 movies. It felt way too fast, and they did not follow the manga like they did in Cosmos.
Yeah.
And it was fast. But you want fast paced? Look at the Eternal movie.
Yeah.
Because they did not have enough time because Nehelenia's arc is a bit bigger than Galaxia's arc. So the Stars arc is much shorter, and I didn't appreciate that. So I'd want to see it fleshed out first. I want to read it as a manga. That way there's a basis, and we don't got people just putting stuff and creating more loopholes where we're like, that doesn't make any sense.
And we get 2 for
Someone
1.
didn't do their research
and
on
the
Sailor Moon.
animation.
Naoko did leave she left quite a few plot holes. I love her. I would cry if I ever met her in person. However, she did leave a lot of plot holes where we're like, what this is. And honestly, I bet she doesn't even know what it means. She would look at it and be like, I don't know what I was doing there. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Because I'm sure she's probably said in an interview where I was just writing it.
Yeah.
I was just writing it. Because she didn't think she was going to go past the barrel arc, to be honest. So she was flying by the seat of her pants at that point. She was like, oh, I got to keep going. I didn't have any more story. So yeah, I would like to see it fleshed out that way. And I was like, more manga. Give me more manga. I like
100%.
the shiny books. I would like to see Crystal redone.
Oh, I would love that.
I would love to see Crystal redone. Cosmos, as beautiful as now, I'm not saying they have to be super movie quality, okay? But the animes we get right now are high quality.
They're epic. They're done right.
They're epic. Look at Demon Slayer. I want to see it redone, and I want it to follow the manga exactly, because when they let the generals live, I was like, what the hell is going on here? I was so confused.
I did not like
why
that
are
either.
they alive?
It didn't make sense, and it didn't go anywhere. So it's like, why did they even bother?
No, she crushed him with a rock. And I was like,
what was the point?
So I want to see Crystal redone because they did us dirty. First of all, making them internet episodes. Excuse you? How dare you?
Oh, yeah, it was streamed.
They were a streaming internet show. Yeah. And I was like, you guys are ridiculous. So I want to see it redone. And I also want to see Eternal redone because I want it to follow the manga. Like verbatim, like Cosmos did. Let me see what else. What else do I want to see? I want to see more merch. I want to see merch that's actually has a fan's opinion. Because like quality. The merch that they do, it's very recycled. It's very. Do I still buy it? Yes. Okay, listen. I've got a shopping addiction, and I will buy everything Sailor Moon. My house is full of it. I have a huge collection, just like Brooke here. Because I've seen your collection. I was like, yeah. Let's be friends. Do you want to come see mine? I'll go see yours.
All the time.
Let's go.
Let's go.
But I want to see more. I would like to see more Cosmos, like actual Cosmos merch.
I was going to tell you too, Selene and Michi and everybody else listening. I don't know if you know this, but in North America, in the United States, they do not have the license to make merchandise for Eternal or Cosmos. The merchandise for our reboot anime only goes up to Crystal Season 3. If you've ever noticed, t-shirts and other things that they release here only goes up to Crystal Season 3.
I'm
You're
disappointed.
right. Oh my goodness.
And I don't know why.
That's
That's why Box Lunch does like more of the symbols now. And they just released that. They call it Neo Queen Serenity jacket, the bomber jacket they just released.
Oh yeah, no,
That's on pre-order.
we always correct it. Box Lunch and Hot Topic are both guilty of calling their merchandise wrong character.
I was like, that's Princess Serenity and Princess Small
Yep,
Lady.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
what? Because
Whenever
I thought Queen Serenity was going to be on it. I was so excited. I was like, my queen's going to be. And then I look, I'm like, that's Princess Serenity. Serious?
Do you remember the Sailor Pluto Garnet Orb earrings that they did, and they named it Black Lady earring?
Oh my god.
oh my god.
And I try, and I know I don't have any pull, but every time that these companies make a mistake like that, I'm always trying to get them to change it, just to so they're listening to an actual fan who knows what these items are. I'm like, hey, it's this. Can you like edit it on your site? And they always ignore me. I try.
What? Oh, I can't believe they don't.
Yeah, I saw
listen.
that the first time. I was like, Black Lady.
Every Sailor
What?
Moon fan knew. They're like, oh, that's not it.
I was like, who did this? Who wrote this wrong? Fired.
Can they
No
just
job.
hire a fan to just double check and make sure you're calling the things right? Because we will do it for free.
Literally, we don't mind. Give us a call.
But also hire me to design the clothing because I will make the cutest clothing that is themed Sailor Moon.
That is literally the biggest critique Sailor Moon Fan Network gets all the time. Not that we're responsible of what they're making, but we're the ones that are pushing it out to the Sailor Moon community and keeping everybody in the loop. And so we see a lot of the feedback on all of the merchandise drops that come out. And one of the biggest is the clothing and the designs that they choose. And they're super valid. It's always the same art over, and it's always the logo plastered on everything. And it's just, this was pretty cute. Hot Topic did release this. This was pretty nice, but it's few and far between when they're that beautifully designed.
I will say the cardigans are really cute. The Eternal cardigan and the overalls we got.
Oh yeah, there's
Those
some
are
good
cute.
merch in there for sure. Not all of it's trash.
Some of it though, I'm like, why? Who made this decision? What fashionista was like, yes, this is fine? I was like, these are adult women wearing this. These aren't children. Why did you think that was cute?
I'm laughing so hard because I've shopped in the children's section for the Sailor Moon tees they make for the kids.
But they do, especially Target. Target has kids tees.
They do. They have the Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3 t-shirt.
Yep.
And it has, the cool thing is, it is designed for kids, and it's the same image we see over and over. But the way that they did it, they put glitter on the Guardians, and I'm like, I am living for this little.
You're like, I want the glitter.
I want the glitter.
I'm trying to think what else I want. The Proplica, Cosmos Proplica.
Oh my god, yes.
Proplica, are you listening to us? Please listen to us. Please, come on. We've got good ideas. We've got money-making ideas.
Yeah.
Listen to the fans, please.
And why every Halloween goes by when Sailor Moon has new movies out, there aren't costumes of, but yet you're Co now in the kids section, but you won't see Sailor Moon.
Okay, funny story. I actually own some of the old 90s Sailor Moon, like, teenager, the package.
Yes,
Halloween
that's
costumes.
exactly how they come. You're like a whole thing in just one little package.
They existed. They have the patterns out there. I can prove it.
So I know they exist. And they even had a Lake Avenue one a couple years back. Yeah! And they still do.
I own that one.
They still do the Sailor Moon costumes today for adults, but you don't see them at your Target, at your Walmart, at your Party City, at Spirit Halloween. You have to specifically order them from HalloweenCostumes.com.
And that is unfair.
The Lake Avenue was actually very well made.
Yeah, I actually own that one as well. The skirt was a little too short, though, for me with my big booty, but it was cute. The ass just
like my full moon almost showed.
Yeah, exactly. Like you, but I think that was the point of that. It was Lake Avenue.
She was meant to be very sassy.
Yeah,
but I love it. It was actually very well made. Like when I got it, I was like, you know what? This is actually very well made.
I liked how it had the embroidered compact.
Yeah, it was, and the gloves were well made. I was actually shocked with how many parts we got with it, and I was like, oh,
yeah. The gloves and the sleeves. The only thing I think I didn't like was the sleeves didn't go all the way around. That was the only critique. It looked like a tank top underneath it. But overall, it was really nice. I liked the V part of the. They did good. They did good. And it sucks that I don't know. Just tagging on your costume thing. I wish we could see Sailor Moon costumes in our big box stores.
Oh, can you imagine? That would be such a glorious day.
Yeah, or even in the kids section, there are so many people like Sailor Moon fans that have children now that are raising little Moonies, and those people want Sailor Moon costumes. They want to dress up. They go to conventions with their families, and the little kids are wearing Sailor Moon stuff. It will sell.
No, it will.
Sure
Even
will.
the cosplay community alone would support it.
Yeah, come on, get on it. Who's saying no to this?
Yeah, who's actually the one? There's got to be one person who's just no.
We need to send Selene out there. I feel like people would listen to her.
So.
She'll get things done.
Yeah. No, I got this. I got you.
I could be scared. I don't want to see her mad.
This is the face they're gonna get.
Or else you're going to get
Do it.
Selene.
Hold on, I got my fisticuffs. Do it.
Attack mode.
And I'm like, yeah.
All right, but any last thoughts, Selene, for what you want to see for the future?
I did have one last one. I would actually like them to subtitle the Sarah Muse and release them here.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is an inspired.
Oh,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And PGSM too. Bring it over
yes.
here.
Oh my God. Yes, please. Oh my God. I would pay good money.
What? Oh, speaking on that. What
I'm
about a live action Sailor Moon Netflix adaptation One Piece got?
Oh, can you imagine if they actually went hard? They would have to give it a budget. But if they committed, I think they could really do something, Netflix. Come on, you already have the animated version.
I'd want it to be like PGSM.
Yeah?
Except with real cats. Don't give me those stuff. I love the stuffed animals, don't get me wrong. They're cute, and let me tell you, they tickled me pink, and I laughed so much during PGSM. Give us better cats, okay?
And nowadays, when they do animate animals, the way that they can make them talk is so good now. If they had the right budget, it would look so cool.
It would look so good. Come on. They were animating Binks in Hocus Pocus. A
I
talking
love
cat. Hocus Pocus is what, 1997? 97, and I had a talking cat much better than PGSM.
You're not wrong. That's
not wrong at all. No one's going to disagree.
I can't argue with you.
I'm leaving no crumbs, people, okay? I know what I'm talking about. Model keeps freaking out because I'm just laughing so hard. And I'm like, I'm sorry, camera.
No. I think I'm going to have permanent wrinkles from laughing so hard tonight. Thanks for premature aging.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. But you know what? People will be like, that woman right there, that's a happy woman. She smiles a lot. That's who we want to be around.
That's true. That's true. I am a little too happy.
Sarah Muse subtitled, PGSM subtitled, because PGSM, they want to try and sweep under the rug. And I'm like, PGSM that deserves a gold star. It is the best. Anybody who is here and listening right now, go watch PGSM. If you want joy, go watch PGSM. It is like watching Power Rangers, but Sailor Moon. Okay.
It literally is.
It is Power Rangers, but Sailor Moon.
I have something to admit. I have not seen it all the way through.
Oh my God. The ending.
I know a lot of things that happened. People have told me. So I know the whole Minako thing.
Okay.
Spoil it for anybody. And of course, the Mercury situation.
Oh,
Sailor Luna,
Darkery.
which seems bizarre to me.
It's very Chibiusa.
Yeah, I think I've only watched probably to episode 10. How many episodes are there? Like 40?
46.
41.
41?
Okay. So I'm almost there. I need to go revisit it. And I think part of the problem is how, like you said, it's not easily accessible. And I have to watch fan subs, which thank you to those people who do that. But like it's a whole like downloading thing and I got to watch it on my computer and all this. If it was more widely available, if a company produced it and gave us physical media or even put it on a streaming service, I think I would be more inclined to sit down and watch it.
I may own the boot of eBay version.
How are those? Are they worth it? Because if I could pop something like that in and it's actually got good subtitles, I would consider that.
Yes. Sometimes every once in a blue moon when you're watching it, the subtitles get off track for 2 seconds. And then you're like, that didn't bother me actually. Because you're able to, because the other subtitles pop up.
That's a good idea. That's
like every 5 episodes, a subtitle glitches. And I'm like, that's fine.
That's fine. That's fine for what, $20 that you'd pay to get all of it?
Yes. And I own it, and it came in a pretty box. So
are they the bifold ones that just fold out and have the little plastic slip?
Yes.
How many of you guys bought the Sailor Moon ones back in the day before we had our actual Japanese and accurate translated? Yeah. I remember buying that for Sailor Stars and having the bifold thing, and I was like,
Whole
So good.
series. I have the whole Sailor Moon series that way.
Oh
I
my
don't think I
God.
could watch it now, knowing that we've got accurate subtitles. But those boxes are real nostalgic to me.
No, right now I'm with two other friends rewatching the Deke dub, and it is a trip. I will tell you as an adult.
You are
And
a
my-
brave woman. For those of you guys who don't know, I got to tell you real quick my experience with the Deke dub. Of course, like everybody in North America, that was my exposure to Sailor Moon. That's who I know, and that's how I loved it. Blah blah blah. I don't remember what specific year it was when I discovered that I was lied to, and this wasn't the real version of Sailor Moon, and I was pissed. I took a turn, and I was like, I'm never going back. That's where I discovered the bootlegs of the other Japanese seasons, and I think I even ordered subtitled VHS tapes of all the other ones, and I never looked back. I'm like, I was so mad. I felt gaslighted and lied to, and it was a whole thing for me. So I get real triggered by like certain things like that, just because to me it was traumatizing.
Okay, so we will just keep going and skip on from that. So
Oh,
don't
no, I
worry.
can talk
Except
about
I
it. It was
had
just
a
fun.
thing that I want. I want the original ones we used to watch in the 90s. I want to see those out on DVD. And a Deke dub.
Oh yeah,
Dinking
we
Cloverway.
did get a DVD release. They're just out of print now, but you can usually find them on the secondhand market like eBay.
They're so hard. I want them remastered.
Ooh.
Like a
That could be
remastered
cool.
version, like a Blu-ray version
It's
with like extras that I know that they have somewhere, like bloopers that people did. But I want my Sailor Moon Says back.
I feel bad because if I rewatch those, I feel like I would be one of those Sailor Moon fans who would refer to those and then get my information wrong. Like I'd be referring to the Deke dub again. I'm like, oh God.
I have to check
No,
myself.
honey, that's the Deke dub. And you'd be like, you know what? You can go bleach your roots. Okay.
Oh no, in my audience.
Because how
knows,
dare you?
man. I'm always like, if anybody like wants to talk about that, I'm like, you know what? You can go talk about that with somebody else. We're not gonna talk about that on this channel. But I can talk about it like in good fun. It's just normally I don't touch base on it just because.
No, and totally respect that. Everybody has their own journey with Sailor Moon and like different feelings on it. So I totally respect it.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm so like jealous of anime nowadays that doesn't get westernization done to it. And I'm like, yeah, you're never going to have that division in the fandom with Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I feel like Deke has created that, and the original Japanese has created this huge awful division and argumentative Sailor Moon fans, and it's tore the community apart.
Yeah.
It's sad. I have people tell me all the time when I share something with the Viz Media release and the accurate dub, and they're like, we want the old stuff back, and I'm like, then go buy it on eBay. Let us have our time, man.
It's a special time when a dub comes out. That's very special for the fans.
Yeah, you don't know how. I don't know if you guys felt this way when they announced it back in 2014, or they might have announced it in 2013 when we were going to get a redub of Sailor Moon and they were going to follow it like the Japanese and get an accurate translation. That was one of the happiest moments of my life.
I screamed. I was like, there goes my money. More debt? Okay. You got me. Take it.
Do you think past Selene and Michi knew back then how crazy it was going to get?
No earthly clue. I could never have pictured it getting this far.
No, because when that was coming out, we're aging ourselves, people, okay? When that came out, the internet was still very like touch and go for certain things. Like we didn't really have streaming services when that was happening. Like it wasn't, you still got Netflix in the mail, okay?
Box.
Yeah, red box and stuff like that. I think with the evolution of the internet, it's helped a lot for Mooney fans for us to get stuff. Because like now, I can shop in Japan from the States. I have a proxy that I shop through and I give them Yahoo links to auctions and I get a hold of Sailor Moon stuff that I will not get hold here in the States. And if I want it in the States, I have to pay 4 times as much. And I'm like, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pay 4 USD for this item that you would have charged me 30 USD for if it was here in the States. But we didn't have that back when they were announcing this stuff. They also didn't have a lot of merch. So when they announced Crystal, all of a sudden we started getting merch after the 25th. And we were like, oh, here's my wallet.
Here's
my
merchandise
my
that we
soul.
got was in 2011 from Hot Topic. They started chucking out Sailor Moon
Really?
t-shirts again, huh? That was the very start of it. Yeah.
I got
And so we got
I have all of them still.
Yeah, do you remember the very first one was a white t-shirt with a circular, it was a circle with Sailor Moon in the middle.
Yes, I have it. And I also have when they released the white Pluto shirt.
Oh yeah, that one was really cool too. It had some 70s looking blocks on it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've got all of anytime I would check Hot Topic daily back then. I would check it daily for new sales. I would buy it. I would buy it.
Now you don't have to because the SMFN do it for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every time I see you on Instagram, I'm just like, oh goody, something new.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we asked you yet what you wanted to see.
It's your turn. Go.
I want a prequel. Give me the Silver Millennium. Give me galactic politics. I want to know Serenity's rise to power. Like, how did she get all of those kings and queens to give up their child?
Yes.
I want to know. Okay, so Brooke, you might not know. I think Queen Serenity's evil.
What? No, I don't know this.
Yep.
I think that woman
does not like Mama Serenity. She thinks she's
so
the
were you on
evil.
Queen Nehelenia's side then during
Yes!
Eternal?
I think she has a point.
Oh, Loki's in here. Loki's watching you.
Uh-oh. Is Loki your guys' encyclopedia, right?
Loki is our
producer,
content manager, essentially.
Got it. Okay.
I'm married to that one.
Fine, I won't turn this into a Mama Serenity is evil episode.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you already had an episode of that. I gotta go back and watch it.
That one is an audio only. I want to remake it someday and do it full video and everything. I have so many points in a soapbox as to why I think that woman is evil, but
yes.
But yeah, I want to see the prequel. I want to see them training in the Silver Millennium. I want to see them like growing up together. Oh, so good. That's my big one.
We don't get any of that. I would love that too. Let's go. And also because Queen Serenity is not originally from our solar system.
Oh no, she's not.
So I want to see that. I want to see her come from the cauldron
and conquer the moon
and stuff like that, and and then take over the moon.
Yeah, who did she take it over from? Was it Baron?
Yeah, no, was it Baron? Did she take it from? Did she seal Nehelenia? Was Nehelenia already there? And like, she had to seal the dark side of the moon to take it over?
They do have a lot of enemies.
Yeah, because we know about the one evil villain from the S movie, Hearts and Ice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Mama Serenity went up against. Yes, Mama Serenity went up against her. Give me a prequel. You could make it as long as you wanted, because you know what? We know the ending, but we don't know the journey.
Oh, so
would you like it as a manga first or just a series?
Oh my god, can you imagine if Naoko gave us a manga? Ah, I can dream. I know it's a dream, but
manga. Come on.
Wait a minute. Am I remembering this correctly? Did somebody say that did she write something and then somebody translated it, said she was writing something for a new Guardian or something?
She did. She said she was making a new Guardian. You're right. I remember Sailor Tortilla talking about it.
She had something of it. She had an idea of a new Guardian.
That's right. It was in something. I just can't pinpoint which publication it was in. It was like in an article.
You're right.
Yeah, it was. She was doing an interview. It was around the time I think Sailor Moon on Ice was announced.
Was it when she came out with the new fashion line?
Was it the Vogue magazine that she said that in? I can't remember.
It was a couple. It was not the most recent one. It was the one before that. It was the fashion before that. So it wasn't the most recent. It was the one that she did before that. Because I think it was around the time that they were doing promo for Sailor Moon on Ice.
Oh yeah, that got canceled. So let's see here.
Oh my god, I'm so sad it got canceled. I got the merch at least.
Here we go.
But I'm very sad it got canceled.
I am too. And they made all that merch.
I got the posters. I need to get them framed really pretty because they're gorgeous. Oh my god. And Naoko did the art for that. So I'm just like,
yeah, she did new art for it too. That was really cute. Did you find it, Michi?
I found it, but then it went to link not found whenever I tried to go to the Twitter.
The Chanel magazine?
No, for the announcing a new Sailor Scout.
Yeah, was the most recent the Chanel magazine, and the Vogue was before that? Because she did Chanel, right?
Remember. Yeah, she did. I'm just gonna type in interview. I know we probably covered it. Okay, so Vogue was January 2024.
Okay.
Chanel
It would've been
was a year ago on May 20th.
It wasn't that long ago because I remember her saying this. Let's see.
So I think it's the
Oh,
Chanel
yep,
one.
it was Chanel. I got it.
Okay,
I got
that's
it.
it!
I
Yeah.
got it. SailorMoonFanNetwork.com.
Woo!
Okay.
Let's go.
A new Sailor Guardian. A fan who received this magazine shared photos of the interview with Naoko Takeuchi. We reached out to our Japanese friend who translated the part where Mrs. Takeuchi drops the interesting piece of information. The interviewer says, question, do you have a new plan? Naoko says, I have an idea of a new Sailor Guardian. That's it. That's all she said.
That's so exciting.
And that was in the Chanel magazine 2023 special issue 31 Rue Kanbon, Tokyo. And we have that blog on SailorMoonFanNetwork.com. If you guys search if you use our search bar, search Chanel, it'll come up.
That's why I was like, it wasn't the most recent one. I was like, it was the one before that.
Yes.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
right. You're right. So then she could be potentially, this is also translated. That could be that she's working on new stuff.
Could be.
Maybe
I
that's
know
why
she's
she's been
still
so
helping
quiet.
with her husband's stuff, but
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they're wrapping up Hunter x Hunter finally. Like that's actually going to finally reach it's either reached its end or it's about to reach its end.
One of the two.
Because he was like, we're going to finish this.
And then real quick, the last thing I'd want to see, because I know we're getting close to end of time and we probably still have more thoughts. I'd like to see more makeup and more
like merchandise.
Make merchandise that is usable. You know what I mean? Everyday usable stuff that we
So
can.
you like the Color Pop stuff and
Yeah.
the Creme shop that just came out and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And we can
Awesome.
lead into
That's a
that
unique,
if
that's a
you have any
unique thing.
more.
I just think it's like fun to have it be something that we can use, but it's still like Sailor Moon.
Yeah. You like functional items.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what tickles my brain, right?
Yeah, I would like to see that also. Do we want to go into the Creme shop just a little bit?
We can. I've got them all right here.
Oh, perfect.
And can I just put in a little brag?
Go for it.
Go ahead. What's your little
Hang on,
brag? Hold on,
let's-
we're getting you on. Go ahead.
Oh.
You get to be big.
Okay. I didn't know this was going to happen, but I've always been like commenting on the Creme shop every time that they talk about Sailor Moon. If they do a post, I comment and everything. And they were in my DMs earlier this week, and they're going to send me the PR box.
Oh my god, congratulations!
Yes,
I've never gotten any Sailor Moon PR boxes ever.
I'm so happy for you.
So this is
I'm so happy
think
for you.
I
Oh my
finally
god.
made it.
Yes!
They finally noticed me. I literally cried when they were there because I'm still considered a small content creator and I didn't even think they would notice me and they did.
That is amazing.
noticed
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is
But yes, the
so
Creme shop. What do you guys
cool.
think about it?
I think it's really cute. It's cute. However, I am a little tired of just getting face masks and blemish stuff. And I was talking to Michi about this. I would have liked to see a full skincare line like they have for the Hello Kitty collaboration.
Oh yes, the
I would
Creme
have
shop
liked to
has
see
so
face
much
wash,
Hello Kitty.
some toner, some moisturizer. Like a lot of their collabs that they've been doing with other things that's not Hello Kitty, it's literally like the face masks, a lip balm, and like the under eye patches and the blemishes. And I'm like, I get it. It's cute. But I have so many face masks. I'm going to get them because they're Sailor Moon, of course. However, I'm like, can I have face wash that's Sailor Moon? Can I have moisturizer? Can I have my full skincare line? Por favor.
Yes, and that is definitely the Creme shop does so many products. They not only have their line of skincare, but they also make accessories. They do nail stuff. They do tweezers. They do brushes. They do hair accessories. So there is so much more potential now that they got the Sailor Moon license. And honestly, I think this is just the beginning.
I hope so.
I hope
Fingers
so.
crossed.
Yes. And
Yes,
the
my
best
fingers.
thing that I can say for you guys to do is always show what you want. Go on their posts when they post the Creme shop and say, hey, this is great, but I want to see blah, blah, blah. So they want to hear from the fans, and it actually does help them a lot more than people know. So make sure you guys are interacting and telling the companies that what you want to see them make for Sailor Moon.
I should do that. Gets on there. I'd be like, listen to this magical girl VTuber. Give me
Absolutely. It doesn't matter who you are. They are, and I know for a fact the Creme shop is looking at comments. So definitely go and tell them what you want to see for their next collaboration, because I really think this is just the beginning. Because like Hello Kitty, like you were talking about, they have it for everything. And I don't know if you guys have a mini-sew in your guys' area. Miniso is
Getting one.
also a place that to keep an eye out on. I'm pretty sure they might drop a Miniso collab with Sailor Moon.
Ooh, that would be fun.
And they do a lot of cool Michi functional items. Like they do
Yeah.
little organizers, they do travel mirrors, they do cups and stuff. I think it would be cute.
Oh my gosh, I'd be in
My
heaven.
bank account just ran out of the room crying. Yeah. My wallet sobbing. But I'm getting a mini.
But I wanted to say I did like the collaboration. I think it's really fun. I like especially the little lip balms with the cat with the Luna and Artemis. So darn cute. Yes, look how cute those are.
So cute.
Like
it's art we of course seen over and over, but it's still, I think the other things, if you guys didn't notice, they have the transformation compact on certain aspects of the design. Which is really
that's
nice.
cute.
Yeah,
that's adorable.
And it's up here
I didn't know
too.
they had that.
And then of course we have this little guy. Very cute.
It's very cute. You know what I would like to see for those?
Huh.
I would like to see them come with a little brush to put your lip on because I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. I will not put my finger in a lip pot and then put it on my lips.
If you have nails, you can't even dig it in
I have
there.
nails. I've got claws.
Get under that nail.
Yep.
I've got claws.
Yep.
Give me a little brush with it, please. You know
Are
what?
you
I'll
listening
say
to
that on
Creme
their thing.
Yeah, we need that.
All right, but any last thoughts for ending the episode?
Why did the Creme Shop do this random pink heart crystal?
Wait,
what's that about?
Is this a pink crystal? Is it
Yes.
literally just like a...
It doesn't make any sense for the season 1 that they did that for. The bow makes sense. The transformation.
Oh my god, is that the crystal that like they throw at and like it gets embedded? No, it's just a random pink crystal.
It's
what
random
is it?
as heck.
You know what they
it
should
has
have
nothing
done?
to do with Sailor Moon.
It should have been the crystals, the 7 crystals.
Oh my god, the
Or the
7
8
rainbow
crystals.
crystals.
Yeah, what else could it have been? A moon? It could have been a moon? It could have been a tiara?
Oh my gosh. So
I know,
many different
Dongo
things.
shield?
Oh, that would have been cute.
That would have been so cute, actually. Why not that?
Why not that?
Again.
See, again, why are they hiring us to double check things? Is
Hire
this
us.
in the Sailor Moon world? No, let's change that. honey.
Yeah, please.
With the graphic designer and be like, you need to change this.
There goes Celine's tone. You need to change this.
You need to change this. Why? Because it makes no sense, Todd. Todd, I need you to change this. I don't know what you were thinking.
Well,
I
Who
was
put
thinking,
Todd in
no,
charge anyway? Todd isn't a Sailor Moon fan. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No. Poor Todd.
No, poor Todd. Todd's doing
Poor
his
Todd.
best.
I'm yelling at poor Todd over here. Todd, why?
And if there's a Sailor Moon fan named Todd, we are
Yeah, I
so
know.
sorry.
This is... Yes, this is a joke.
This is a joke. Todd, we
I'm
love
using
you.
just a random name. If you're Todd out there, I'm watching you.
I'm going to get a comment tomorrow on my YouTube channel. My name is Todd. How dare you?
Poor
No,
Todd.
please. We love Todd.
We do. If
Yeah.
you, Todd, we love you. You wouldn't do that mistake. This is a Todd that's not a Sailor Moon fan.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Marie, standing outside the door, does gossip at the water fountain that I yelled at Todd. It's fine.
There's a whole story.
There's a whole story.
All right. On that note, anything else that before we do our outro?
I don't think so. Did you finish up all your thoughts, Michi, on what you wanted from the Sailor Moon going forward?
Yeah, it's mostly I really want the prequel. I'm desperate for a good prequel. Give me manga, give me a short story, give me an OVA, give me something.
You want something to validate your idea she's evil.
That and Haruka and Mitru. I just want to see them be gay in outer space. But
I would love more of that. They're actually my favorite couple in Sailor Moon. I think that their love, the way that they don't want to survive if the other one's not existing, which versus the contrast of Usagi and Mamoru, who is, oh, I'd rather save the world than you. Haruka and Mitsu would rather save each other than the world. And I love that kind of like selfish love. I love it.
But also tiny outers in prequel.
In Tamagotchis, please.
Yes. They'd be tiny and they'd be chibi. I'd be like, oh my God, they're cute. They're children.
Oh my God.
So I just thought of something I just want to do really quick, just to give you guys brainworms to think of as you leave here. So I just realized, why does Pluto have a castle if she has to stand at the gate?
Oh, yeah, no one's guarding that gate when she's at that castle.
She's not allowed to leave the gate. Why does she get a castle?
And she
Loophole
specifically
found.
says how nostalgic when she goes into her castle. Like she's been there before.
I'm like, ma'am, you're not allowed away from the gate. That was your thing. That was one of your rules. You weren't allowed to leave the gate. Why you got a house? What you
Guess
need a house for?
that was her only thing in
Your
art.
things? What things? Just a brainworm.
Oh, that's gonna mess me up.
Plants it. Plants it.
I'm not sleeping tonight.
You're welcome.
You're rewatching the movies. You're like leaving here. Time to put it right back on. All right.
Mm-hmm. I don't
the
let
things we
Sailor
get about
sleep.
and go on and on and on about. Ugh.
Yeah, but we got a clock. All right. So before we turn into pumpkins, because I know us, we will be here until I call it.
Can we just thank everybody for sticking with us tonight? Like the audience watching. I know I was trying to keep up with the comments. Thank you guys for participating. And I know we highlighted a few of you guys. We should have highlighted more, but man, our conversations were flowing. So we're so sorry if we missed anything that you guys said. I'll go back and rewatch it and read your guys' chat probably in the next couple of days. But I just want to say thank you guys so much. You have been a great audience.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to us yap. Like I said, it's like wrangling wet cats when you put Sailor Moon fans
tonight
with neurospicy brains into a room together. Yes.
No, but thank you for the audience.
Brooke, you are always welcome back to come and yap with us.
I would love to, you guys. You are so fun. I love your energy. I love your ideas, Selene and Michi. I love your energy. You are just so fun and smiley, and it makes me smile.
I'm glad. No, like Selene and I just bounce off well of each other, and then I'm just so happy that you came, and it's been so much fun.
Well, thank you for finding me and actually asking me. I don't actually get asked to do this all the time, and I don't say if I actually have to look into it when someone asks me. I'm like, who are you? Let me go. So I did my research. That's how I watched some of your podcasts. The Sailor V one is the one I watched when you had the other guests, and I was like, I really like these people. I will say yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it's been
chaos.
Freaking fun. If you guys ever need another guest on the show to talk about and just be there with you, feel free to just hit me up again. I would love to.
Yes, please.
Because we have one episode a month, so
awesome. And I will, if you guys will allow me, I'll just stream on my YouTube too. A lot of my audience showed up tonight. I looked at one point, we had 30 of my people on.
Yes, no, everybody, and they've been all so wonderful in the comments.
My streaming fan was freaking awesome.
Yes. Very demure, very mindful.
Yes.
It's been so good.
Yes, and thank you to my mods modding the YouTube chat. I appreciate you guys. I know I saw Sailor V Dizzle, which is my girl. I went to Japan with her in July. Love her to death. She's a sister from another mister. Love you.
Everyone was very good. And Brooke was saying, I know we didn't get to read some of your comments. We were in the zone, and I hope you enjoyed that zone. I really do. Because that's what this is all about. It's Sailor Moon fans getting together and just yapping about our passion. And the fact that you wanted to listen to our passion, we love you for that. Thank you.
That was sweet. Agree.
Yes. I will begin now our outro. And this brings us to the end of our show. Thank you for joining us for the 10th episode of Season 3. We'll be going on our next Moony adventure on October 5th with our special guest, Katie Cosplays. We'd like to thank tonight's special guest, Brooke, also known as ochibawolf. Please go ahead and plug yourself.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Go ahead.
I am at ochibawolf everywhere. Also, I love Katie Cosplay. She's amazing. So I can't wait to see that episode. But yes, I'm also a co-founder of SailorMoonFanNetwork.com. If any of you guys don't know about that, it is a website that reaches everybody, the audience in English of all of the new Sailor Moon news that comes out worldwide and new Sailor Moon drops of surrounding merchandise. So you guys don't have to do the work. Just Google Sailor Moon, go to SailorMoonFanNetwork.com, check it daily, and right on the front page, you'll see all of the new merchandise that comes out. We do the work for you. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to be here today.
No, thank you, Brooke. Thank you. Remember, Moonies, to follow us on all of our socials. All of those are linked in the link tree in our description. Previously recorded Eternal Moon content is available on YouTube, so remember to hit the bell to receive our notifications. For Bisoujo Senshi Slumber Party reactions, you can find them on our Patreon for free. And our next discussion episode will be coming out on October 19th. Thank you for joining us tonight, my friends. I have been your co-host, Selene, and you can find me on all my socials as Azira_witch. I stream on weekends as your next favorite magical girl VTuber here on Twitch. Love you guys.
All right. I've been your host, Michi. You can find my personal socials at MEW21, _cosplay. We appreciate any likes, comments, follows, or however you would like to support our show in your own way. We do read all the comments on YouTube. As a quick reminder, these have just been our personal opinions. We celebrate all respectful Moonie opinions here. We're working hard on the show to be a place for Moonies to come together and discuss their theories from their love and passion for Sailor Moon. Remember, as Sailor Cosmos once said, because of this place, we can continue living. Time and time again, we can start over. I won't run away anymore. I'll go ahead to the future. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. Bye-bye.